So on behalf of
sometimes
Paul,
I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain what things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Outlaw Radio Network.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, proudly supporting our veterans in the Bremerton community. Visit them online at destinationhighway420.com. 21 and over.
Cannabis has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Keep out of the reach of children.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So on behalf of
sometimes
Paul,
I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain what things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Outlaw Radio Network.
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Ring Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Ring Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Ring Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, proudly supporting our veterans in the Bremerton community. Visit them online at destinationhighway420.com. 21 and over.
Cannabis has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Keep out of the reach of children.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our bit.
Free public. I like this. I like those people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, or you.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood, heading out
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over.
You meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're gonna have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I declare to be an outlaw.
All right, everybody, it's the Outlaw Radio Network. It is the 8th of March. Is it the Ides of March? Is that the 15th, Beals?
15th.
Yeah. Paul, you're not on the microphone. Shut up in the background. Outlaw Radio. Anyway, thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate it. K-Dog, Beals, Paul will join us in a sec. Tom is here making some alcohol in the back. He'll join us shortly. Dennis is here. The CEO will be by later. She literally sent me a message that said that she's running late because she was putting some steroid cream on the pooch.
On the pooch.
I hope that's literally putting steroid cream on the pooch and not some young teen urban slang that I don't understand. Like something I got to look up on like Urban Dictionary or something. Is putting cream on the pooch? Like is that?
My mind is going several different places.
No,
with
there's
that
a lot of ways you could take it.
Yeah.
Big show tonight, Gary. What is that, Dennis?
Yeah, what is that beating?
It's a heartbeat.
It sounds like a heart.
Dennis is playing with things. Dennis is playing with it. Gary Parker's going to join us in just a moment. He is running for state senate. We're going to chat with him about his candidacy, what he's got planned, and more importantly, barbecue. And later in the show, obviously, things continue to evolve in the situation in Iran. We'll get to that. Kristi Noem has been excommunicated from the
stop it.
From the leadership. We'll talk about that.
Got a promotion.
She did not get a promotion. You can't. We'll talk about that later in the show.
Yeah, because
I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
What'd
you say, Paul? She asked
I don't want to say it again and boost your ego, brother.
What'd you say?
guys are
I
always
said I
jumping
actually agreed with Kevin on this.
It's not a promotion.
Yeah, she got canned.
She got fired, which is a shame because before all this, she was a rising star in the party.
Yeah, there's been lots of us that were rising stars.
Then she did a hearing.
That,
That's all it took.
Hold on.
That
You
faltered
being a
out.
rising star in the Kitsap County Republican Party is literally like being the smartest kid on the short bus. Okay, so settle down, Beals.
Okay,
settle down. All right. All kinds of fun stuff. First, shout out to our sponsors, of course, Black Ring Spirits, the official home of Outlaw Radio Network. Stop in and see them. They're on the ground floor of the Town Square Shopping Center. Come on in. Tell Tom hello. Pick up some of his amazing spirits. Toasted. Do you have Toasted Joe in stock right now? You are. So leave it to me to bring up the one thing you don't have in stock. What do you have in stock?
Everything
What's your best seller that you have in stock?
did you get that?
You know,
the bourbons.
he's not
Tom,
on.
Can't
Tom,
hear you.
Tom just
Kevin.
won a
Yeah, he-
award for his bourbon.
You can't
so-
ask a guy not on the
I know.
microphone.
I
a
know.
question.
Shut up, Paul.
That's
Well, you
bad
knew?
radio. Come on.
So anyway, stop in to check out his bourbons. He just won an award for them. I don't know what the award is, and I can't ask him because he's not on the microphone. We'll
And he
talk
has a
about it later.
delicious pistachio whiskey that is amazing.
And sometimes his dog is here, so you can say hi to Leon. Also, we want to give our shout out to Destination for Highway 420, your fine cannabis supplier. Check them out on Hollis Street in East Bremerton, kind of across that side street there from the Cloverleaf. They're centrally located. They're easy to get to, and they've got a whole bunch of stuff to meet your cannabis-related needs and awesome staff and great customer service.
Absolutely.
So stop in and see our friends at Destination Highway 420. Later in the show, we'll tell you about an event that they're doing that some of us are going to be at. Right? Are we allowed to promote that? Or is that top secret stuff?
Let me send John a text real quick.
Yeah,
and
okay.
then I'll get back.
And if we don't bring it up again, it means we weren't allowed to tell you about it. So there you go. Okay. This is live radio at its finest, everybody.
It's so fun.
All right. Can we bring Gary on? You guys ready to talk to Gary?
Yes.
All right. So his name is Gary Parker. He is running for state senate out of the 26th district. He's going to be going up against Deb. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, we just have an election for that seat? You did. But that was to fill the seat because Emily Randall made it to a different seat and abandoned her seat because why wouldn't she? And Deb won the spinoff, and now she's got to defend her title in the normal election cycle. And joining us on cam is one Gary Parker for state senate. Gary, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Great to be here. It's so much fun.
You having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Okay, it gets better. Yeah, it gets better.
It's so fun.
Listen, I have a hard hitting journalism question for you first. Before we get into all the other stuff,
I already told him they weren't going to get any.
no hard. This is a hard hitting question I have to ask him because this is what I'm hearing from everybody. Your name is Gary Parker. Are you related to Robert Parker?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you.
No. Matter of fact, we when I first met him, we went through that whole lineage.
Just to make sure.
Just to be sure. Okay.
Did my dad know your mom? Just checking. Just checking.
Robert's a big supporter of the show, so
Right.
I had to make sure.
He's probably listening. Hi, Robert.
Yeah, wasn't sure. Hello, Robert. No, he's not. He's not listening.
He is listening. He's been talking in there.
Oh, has he? Oh, hello.
He said
Robert.
good morning, and I said morning.
Good
Are you
morning.
smoking crack?
By the way, actually, here's the real big question for you. Before we get all the other stuff. You get elected, you show up at Olympic.
Right.
Would you please banish the set your clock ahead 1 hour nonsense, please?
Love that.
For real.
Yeah. Now I'd be okay if every 6 months we set our clocks backwards. I'd be okay with that.
Oh,
If I got an extra hour of sleep once every 6 months, I'd be fine with that.
right.
It would be pitch black darkness at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at some point, but I don't care. I've been doing this.
Yeah, I would love to stop that.
Yeah.
Gary, can you either?
Yeah, Gary, so you want to get closer on that microphone.
Hold it?
There you go.
How's this one doing?
Much better.
That's so
Much.
much
Dennis is going to.
There we go. Oh, there we go. There we are.
Dennis is going to.
Cool.
And then Dennis, you may want to drop his level down just a smidge now too. Gary, listen, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking before the show a little bit. You got your hands on a lot of stuff, right? You got a nonprofit. We'll talk about that. You got a restaurant. We'll talk about that. Now you're running for state senate. Why? I love this question. Why do that? Why put yourself in the crosshairs of politics in the state of Washington, especially as a Republican?
Oh, it's fun. You know, is the first answer. And I want to do good. And in order to really understand the answer to that question is, I don't know how much time you got, but you've got to really understand the background that I come from. First of all, I'm a Texan, right? And we're all very neighborly people down in Texas, if you don't know that. You know, I went through multiple decades of the tech career. And then when I retired in 2016, I created the restaurant. And then I got hit with COVID. And I really started helping people. And I'll start with the beginning of the story because we were in the middle of COVID. Perfect. I couldn't have tables out, but they couldn't close me because I was a food establishment, right?
Yeah.
So what did I do? Is I put the tables around the perimeter of the store because I was one of 3 restaurants that were open, and I started inviting in jewelry stores and dress shops and anything I could find where somebody wanted to maintain access to the public, right? Yeah. And I said, here you go, because believe me, I did not design that store to deal the volume that I had in the middle of the COVID process. So people were just standing around and they would get frustrated because I have like 1 fryer and, you know, they were waiting on their fries and their fried okras and stuff like that.
I love
so it was
fried
really
okra, man.
cool. I could bring in a jewelry store. I could bring in, you know, this vendor or that vendor. Then they had something to do.
Oh, nice.
Right. so it was killing two birds with one stone, but I really got into it. And so COVID kind of passed off. And during that time, though, I really got connected with our senior community.
Yeah.
I mean, like really big time connected with the senior community, right?
Yeah.
And so as time has gone on, I've worked with the local authors, which are largely seniors, right? We've created the Literary Society, and if you go into my store, you actually see a piece of it has now been made, the authors section.
Yeah.
And we have local authors that sit in that store. They all get a week, right? And I've got 42 authors and I got 52 weeks, right? And so everybody gets time. And then we have big parties and stuff and big book openings in there. The other thing we did is we started teaching paint classes in there.
Oh, I love that.
For seniors, right?
So
And so once a month, my friend Deb comes in and, and it's a hoot. Anyway, so you get kind of the idea. Then the schools, of course, during COVID, they couldn't fundraise. Right. So that's how the counter takeovers got started. Right. And so every BPO or somebody will call me and they get on a schedule. And so the goal is the more people you get in the store to drop their receipt in the little bucket right at the cash register, then they get 10% of the proceeds that week.
Nice.
Right. And so we kind of, it's kind of a partnership with the schools. And so again, 52 weeks, somebody's going across that thing every week, right?
Nice.
Whether it be the schools themselves or whether it be charities or what have you, right? We've done them all, right?
Amazing.
And so that was all cooking.
That's almost like he's voluntarily paying his own millionaire's tax.
Right?
Just saying.
Giving back to the
That's
community.
what business is supposed to do.
Amen.
Is give back,
Yes.
right?
Mhm. Yep.
Yes.
And so then the next thing that happened to me and a friend, my friend owns Home Watch Caregivers. And so that even got me deeper into understanding the senior community in the area. And so we created a nonprofit called Olympic Civic Services, right? And all we do is the mission is simple. We're going to create activities for seniors and it's going to cost you nothing. All right. And so we do things like we have the weekly bingo in the store. And I've got it's on Tuesday at 3. It's like standing room only in that store. Right. And then every other week we do it for 2 hours over at the PenMet administration building. We started doing free movies at the end of the month for seniors. And so and it's fun. The Galaxy Theater just knows us now because we've been doing it for 3 years, and they'll all come in at 1 o'clock, and the employees just go, yeah, he's over in number 7, right? And they just get to come in for free. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
We do bigger things. We go into when we go into Peninsula retirement, that kind of thing. We put on luau's, we put on senior prom, we put on Valentine's dances, right, for these seniors. And we're doing this just because we're trying to create an environment that doesn't have so many barriers to it, so they can interact, so that they can have fellowship with each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you taking notes, Kevin? We're almost in that category.
And
you speak for yourself.
But it's really important, because what's the opposite of that? What are we combating? And my parents went through this too, and that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of sympathetic to it. Is I call it warehousing, right?
Okay.
They get to the point where they don't have resources, or they're less mobile, or the world confuses them a little bit, and they end up sitting in a room watching CNN every day, right? That's got to stop.
Yeah.
Because I can promise you, from my own parents, that will kill you.
Yeah.
Right. But if I can get
Really
them out of that
painfully,
room,
too.
if I have to spend a few bucks, right, to get them to buy some bingo prizes and get them out of a room and get them sitting in a chair talking to their best friend or their new friend, then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And it's the same thing with the schools. Right. If the library calls me up and says, man, I need some lamps. This is a true story, by the way. I need some lamps. We remodeled everything, but the budget was short and we don't have any reading lamps for XYZ. And I said, well, how, what do you need? And so she showed me on Amazon. I said, boop, there you go. Merry Christmas. And it just shocks people.
Yeah.
They're not used to it.
They're not used to that
not
kind
at all.
of, they're not kind of used
That's
to that
not
kind
our
of
world
generosity.
anymore.
Right.
But you know what? It's in scripture, but it comes back tenfold on you, right? Because people start to know who you are, and they go, "That's just so unusual," right? And of course, the whole thing is drawn. We pay for the shuttle bus that takes seniors down to the market, so they don't have to walk up and down the hill.
Nice.
My favorite one, though, and I'll move on after this, but my actually favorite one is called Senior Santa. Okay. And I want you to stop and think about this for a second, right? I'm dressed up in a Norwegian Santa Claus suit.
Oh, there's got to be photos.
I mean, I'll show you pictures later if you want to see them. And we go in, and this year we touched 1,500 facility-bound seniors.
Wow.
Wow.
Right. And it's so much fun. It's very taxing, emotionally taxing, because you're not exactly in the happiest space, right?
Yeah.
But you're in there, and the ones that can come to the common areas, we'll get in there, and we hand out bags of gifts, and it's basically got the lip balm and the socks and magnifying glasses and lens cleaners for your glass, things that they need, right?
Right. Yeah.
Occasionally they'll get a Coca-Cola can in there, so because they always want soft drinks. But anyway, we get in there and we'll start singing Christmas carols and these kinds of things, and then I'll walk in. Then we'll take that whole operation and we'll go into the memory care unit. Have you guys ever physically been in a memory care unit?
Yeah,
like an Alzheimer's facility,
and they're just like staring, right?
Yeah.
You walk in there in a Santa Claus suit, and the 4-year-old comes right out of them.
Aww.
They just absolutely come to life, and they'll sing Christmas carols with you, and they'll be really interactive. And I'm just thinking, when we're doing this, that moment of joy, right, that they're getting, we really push that, and that's why we're going into those facilities. The last piece of that part I'll tell you is the last thing I do in those facilities is I go to the rooms, right, where they can't get out of the room. They're either hooked up or they've got something, right, and they're just there sitting, right, most of the time in silence. And so the lady will knock on the door, and they'll say, "Hey, you got a visitor," and you can kind of hear them in there. What? Because the last thing they're thinking about is I've been in this gigantic guy in this big red suit and this white beard comes walking in there, and I will sit there and I will hold their hand and I will listen to their story. And sometimes I'll get them to sing, right? And they had given up on an experience like that years ago.
Sure.
But they're forgotten. But we make sure that they're not forgotten. So this is all philanthropy, right? This is what I call going out and giving back to the community, loving your neighbor, and I found out after leaving the tech world, it's just a really big part of me, right? I love doing this stuff, and it's all service above self, right? And I just try to take it to the absolute max that I can do that with. And so if you have to understand that base, the next question you're probably going to ask me on my public service, right, is because I want to elevate what I just told you, right, at the state legislature. Okay, we need that. We need people who I love all constituents, right? I just know I can help everybody, and I can help everybody get along, and I can find solutions that'll make our life better, right? And I'll look at you three guys. Is your life better, this year than it was 2 years ago?
Hell no.
Hell no, right?
It's been going downhill since '88. Get the coordinator.
But I think you can do that, right? Matter of fact, I'm confident. I have faith that there's nothing that's so terrible that we can't go make things better, right? You just have to have folks that think that way, that are always looking for that opportunity or looking for that solution. And so when I watched most of you guys know that I'm kind of a watchdog of the legislature. I'm that nerd, right, that will sit there and watch every day exactly what's happening. I have a little blog that I put out, that you might have heard about, and it's just I see what's happening, and I just know I can do better.
Well, and God bless you for that, man, because you're right. We do need more of it. It's there, but it's an untapped, unfulfilled avenue towards, making our state government work better.
Yeah.
And we all know, God knows, they are not working to our betterment right now, and haven't for a while.
But it could be. And the secret to it is busting that super majority, right?
Agreed.
And let me ask you, what's the fastest way to break up the super majority? Get a seat in the Senate. Okay, it's the highest value, shortest path, most efficient way, right, to get deliberation put back in our legislature. Because that's really the only thing missing, right, is deliberation. Right now in a supermajority, everything happens in the caucus room, and it doesn't matter what you say. the decision's already made before they come to the floor.
Right.
That's correct based on the video that was just put out, right? Where they were literally saying, we don't really listen to anybody that comes in and gets on the list.
Yeah.
We don't listen to any of them.
Yeah.
And you sit there and like I do, and you watch the testimony on the floor and you watch the testimony in the committees, and you just see it play out. Right. And because these arguments that are being made for these amendments and things like that, they're very powerful arguments and they're truths, right? They have no time for shenanigans anymore. I mean, they've already burned it all away, and they're making truths, and it's just okay, but we're going to do it our way anyway, right?
Yeah.
If we don't get deliberation back in, we're not going to get good policy. We're not going to get good law that really helps our communities,
right?
And so I'm passionate. I want to go in and get started on that work.
Well, question in the chat for you. Terry asked a question for Gary. Are you willing to advocate for actual nonprofits such as churches to have more authority to help handle community needs instead of going through state-funded agencies?
On the surface, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Churches are very powerful entities that can really help the community. Right. And I don't know enough about the question to talk in great detail, but, being a person of faith, right, and knowing the power of the church and being raised in a Baptist church, right, where I was, I know that power, and that's an opportunity that I don't think has been unleashed here in Washington.
Yeah. And I think it's important to point out too, right, when people ask about churches, they're not just speaking specifically about Christian churches, right? There's
all kinds
and there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of motivation in faith communities to do stuff for their neighborhoods and their neighbors that
really
can
are.
lessen the burden on the state for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same way I talked to you a minute ago. Small business can relieve burdens on schools, right? And their extra, their extracurricular activities, right? Churches can relieve burdens off the state, by solving some of these, turn these problems local and solve them. I mean, I'm not studied on it, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just out of instinct, right? I can see the power of that.
It certainly makes sense. One of the things that happened this week, two big bills are meandering their way through Olympia. I think one has passed or is about to pass, and the other one is about to pass. The first one I wanted to touch on is what they're calling the millionaire's tax, which is essentially a state income tax on anybody right now making $1 million or more.
Right.
Trust me, folks, it's not going to stay at that level forever. It's going to drop down when all the millionaires get the heck out of Dodge. What are your thoughts on that bill, and what does it do? What do you think the lasting implications of that would be, and what would you do if you were elected?
Well, that's a big question. So when I look at it, right, the first thing I see is they're increasing revenue without helping the citizen. They didn't take anything away, right? And that's what makes this state unique now from the other ones. Is at least in Oregon, you don't have a sales tax, right? So who doesn't love to go down there and and buy stuff at Costco because it doesn't have any sales tax on it, right? You're going to come to Washington, you're going to go to Costco. Not only are you going to pay an income tax, but now you're also going to pay the sales tax, right? So they didn't think that part through at all, right? What is the proper method of collecting taxes from the constituency? I don't know the answer to that exactly, right? I just know do one or the other, but don't try to do both. Especially when you're a state that's got an abundance of revenue and you're just spending like crazy, right? I don't know if that's a great answer, but off the top of my head, that's what I see happening.
No, that makes sense, right? I mean, as you referenced Oregon, most states have one or the other.
One or the other.
We've decided to double dip.
Yeah.
We're not just double dipping. We're like quadruple gazillion gamillion dipping, because every freaking thing that comes up is getting taxed right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to raise the electricity tax again.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of ways they're doing that. And anyway, but to your point, right? We just got through with the biggest tax hike ever, right? Yeah. And so I did an interview one time about guys, they're telling you it's just this tax or it's just this tax, and I drew a picture for the people about these taxes that they passed in 25 were compounding taxes for guys like me, right? And so let's just take a simple one, right? Let's take the fuel tax. 6 cents on gasoline, 12 cents on diesel. All right. On the surface, that doesn't sound so terrible until you're a restaurant owner like I am.
Right.
Now, I have a truck, right, that's expensive, that's bringing raw products into a factory. they paid that tax and amortized it back across the output of that product, right? They had to hire a trucking company again to take it from the factory to the warehouse, right? So now we amortize the price again, that 12 cents again. Now that warehouse had to get it to the distribution center, so there's another truck, right, that goes there, and then the distribution center has to bring that truck to me. I pay that 12 cents on my product 4 times.
Insane.
That's just one small example. My UI costs as an employer go up because of the benefits for striking worker stuff and et cetera. There's multiple ways we get hit, right? And so all of a sudden, cost of doing business, goes up 20-30%. But they said, and all that, right? Oh, we're just hitting the business people, right? We're hitting the big business people. We're not going to hit the little guys, right? So, but it just hit me because they amortized it all across the product that I buy. It comes into my store. What am I supposed to do? Eat it? So no, the menu price goes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And because we pass it right on to the consumer. And I try to make that point because so many people do not understand that path that I just said. Right. And we got to stop some of that because I see the effects of it on people. And this is a true story. Watching barbecue, there are people who love that brisket you just had.
So good.
Absolutely love it. Right. But they'll look at me and go, I want that brisket, but I can't buy it today. I have to buy the pulled pork or I have to buy the chicken because I just can't afford that $30 a pound.
Right.
That you're having to charge for it now. Gosh. You know how that makes me feel?
Horrid, I bet.
It is.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and I watch the legislature and the things they say, the talking heads say in the news. And it's just like, no, that's not the way that is.
It really feels like they do not care about the people the party that they're not representing.
Yeah.
It's not just the people, it is the party.
It's the party. Yeah.
And
Check
it's
your
ridiculous.
switch on the bottom of your microphone. I don't think your mic's on. There you go. Now your mic is on, Paul.
Yay.
Paul's been over
Better.
here trying to talk, and
That's better.
he's only done radio with me for 25 years.
Not on this mic.
No. Did you have a question, Paul?
No, keep going.
Okay.
I was agreeing with him. It's very difficult to do anybody. I've been in business for 30 years in this state. This has got to be the hardest state to try to be a small business person. And look, Lori's like, yeah. Tom's like, yeah.
Well, I don't think we need to look any further than what happened right down the walkway here, right? Like Harbor Hot Dogs was a community staple. People,
hot dog guys.
people loved them when they had their last day. That there was at least 100 people
Huge
in
line.
line.
Huge
Just-
line.
I was in the Connecticut dogs too, but more than that, backed all the way out the door. And that's a business that has ties to the community. They're locally owned. They have obviously got a following. So this isn't a monetary lack of revenue issue. It's how many more fees and charges can we force upon small businesses and then act surprised when they don't survive. It's insanity at its finest. And as a restaurant guy, better than anybody, your margin is really narrow.
It is.
For you to turn a profit in a restaurant, your margin's really thin.
Hospitality Association says the average margin on a restaurant right now is 3% across the state.
Yeah. Hold on. Talk in the microphone, Tom. This is radio.
And most people, restaurant wise, are operating at about 2%.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I know to add insult to injury with just the cost of minimum wages, et cetera, there's all the bureaucratic nonsense too. Lone Star Donuts here in this building spent $70,000, I think, trying to move into their new space here. And guess what they were replacing? The space that they moved into. So they're a bakery.
Yeah.
The space they moved into had previously been a bakery.
I bet.
Yeah. $70,000 of nonsense to bureaucracy.
That is most definitely the city of Port Orchard.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
But there's a larger issue. I think it's a Kitsap issue because they've been trying to open that Panda Express in Silverdale forever. It's been delayed forever.
Well, that
because
would
of,
be the county.
because of permitting issues.
But in
up in Paulsbo, they've been trying to open an escape room up in Paulsbo that they've been trying to open for months that they can't open because of permitting issues. Do you have an idea where the line is drawn for you as a legislator? Like how much of that are if you're elected, and I'm throwing with you a bunch of, like, we don't script out questions, so you haven't had time for prep for any of this. But where do you draw the line as a legislator where you say, okay, this is a city decision, this is a county decision, this is where the state has to be involved on some of these permitting issues that really, excuse my French, screw small businesses? How far should the state be muddled up in that, and how much of that should be left to local city or county control?
Well, I think the state needs to get out of the way. I talk to mayors because I'm big in the community, so I'm with them a lot. I look at a lot of the what I call non-funded mandates and stuff that they get, and that's driving a lot of this bureaucracy. Whether it's a safety thing and you have to go get this special bracket to hold this special thing because I don't know, there might be an earthquake one day, or I'm trying to think about it when I opened the store, it was crazy. There was a guy out there. One of the reasons my business license says 21 chairs, right? Because this guy came in and he was counting parking spots. And he says, I can only let you have 21 chairs because there's only so many parking spots in this plaza. And
wow.
Right. And then there was another one that walked in and said, well, could we have a speaker system in there? And they had the safety wires on them. But he didn't like the safety wire and how it was done. So we had to redo all of that, because of this guy that comes in, and you gotta just kiss the ring. Right. And if you want to open your doors. Right. But a lot of the stuff just comes out. We just had one in this session. This is one of the hospitality ones. All our pots and pan costs are about to go through the roof here because we are no longer allowed to purchase at the restaurant supply places the normal pots and pans anymore.
Why?
Because the molecular makeup of those had too much lead in it.
Oh man.
Right. According to our ecologists.
Well, it's obvious. Look at how many people are dying of lead poisoning every year.
Right. Yeah. I'm serious.
Maddening. Listen, I worked for a bar when I used to work at Cookies back when Cookies was open.
Yeah, the fire work in my bar too.
The fire inspector came in and said, "Oh, you guys don't have a cabaret license, so you can't use your dance floor. So if you want to be open, we're going to require you to bolt the tables to the floor, so you can't move them to make a dance floor space." That's how ridiculous it is, man.
It can get really crazy. And some of the guys tried to open in Gig Harbor. They'll spend a year trying to get open, and then and that's hard enough.
It pisses me off because that is not the American dream. The American dream is to work hard and build your business and be a pillar of the community, which is what some people are trying to do.
Yeah.
But then we have our local government that tries to cut us off at the knees every fucking time someone tries to do that.
Well, and
I think it's nice French, by the way. Go ahead.
Well,
I haven't
it's
cussed yet. I had to get it out there.
but it's self-defeating for the municipality too,
right?
Because they're preventing the business from opening, which was going to bring in tax revenue that was going to enrich that community, but instead we're gonna fuck with business owners,
right?
Well, and provide jobs and wages and livelihoods, and and then you've got guys like you, Gary, that are taking that money that they're earning and giving it back into the communities and doing things to fill the holes where government has clearly dropped the ball or not.
Yeah. But it's even worse than that. I would love to hire teenagers.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager and in vocational education, I started work when I was 16 years old.
Well, they're the best to hire because they know everything. So
you got to get a start. And I was just in a session last Saturday where I was a business owner going in to talk to a bunch of kids, right? And they said, "Man, we just don't know how to work with you. We don't know how to communicate with you business owners. We don't know how to get started."
Ask.
And I'm saying, "Yeah, we'll come in and ask."
Yeah.
Well, then they'll come in and ask us, says, "Well, can you hire me? How old are you?"
Yeah.
"Oh, well, I'm 17. Nope. Because I don't have a special license,
minor work permit or something like that. Yeah.
And why won't I? Right? Because I've watched too many other business owners get popped, right, by the state because this young man, worked an extra hour over what he was supposed to do, or this young lady, did this or that, and I just won't. It's just not worth it, right? And the liability goes up, and there's all these things that go into it. So I just need to wait till you're 18, right?
Right.
The escape room that I manage, we've had the same conversation. Like we've had 16, 18 years apply all the time, but the insurance goes through the roof. The requirements that are placed on a small business just skyrocket the minute you hire somebody who's a minor.
Yeah.
Rather than letting them have some life experience before they graduate to maybe know what they want to do with their lives.
Right.
With your experience, is that something, just as an example, that you would look at trying to change if you're elected?
We've got to take some of the pressure off, particularly guys like my store.
Yeah.
I mean, the big guys can absorb it a little bit more, the medium-sized businesses, but it's the same for them. They're just able to tolerate it a little bit better than a small guy like myself.
Right.
And I'm doing everything I can to defend those 11 guys that take care of that store, that work that store, that that I provide that for them, right? Because you got to remember, I'm a retired tech guy,
Right.
I started barbecue because I wanted to be the best barbecue guy in my community, right? What guy doesn't want to do that, right? I just did it, and so, but I keep that store open through all this. It's not for me. I keep it open for those young men who are learning from me, who get the opportunity to take advantage of all the management experience and business experience and things like that I have. They're learning from me. They're learning what customer service is.
Right.
Just come on in and meet them. If you haven't been in there, come in. I get compliments all the time about how great they are.
Well, I'm sure that you're providing a good example for them. It sounds to me like you're a servant leader, which is near and dear to my heart. I love that. Anytime we can give back to the community is such a great thing. So thank you.
What's fun too, what's really great for me, they're into philanthropy now.
Nice.
Right.
So
they're
important.
And it just happened the other day. It was really heartwarming. One of my lead guys been with me for all 8 years. We do the yellow tag, on the Christmas tree stuff.
Yeah.
The first day we put those things up and we get them all on the tree, he'll come and get 10 of them.
Oh, wow.
That's the first thing he does.
Wow.
Right. And comes in the next day and puts it all in the box. He's learning give back.
Nice.
Right. I'm teaching live back in there.
So
and
important.
I try to do that with all the boys and girls that are young ladies that come to work for me.
Great.
You're building an empire, man, but you're doing it not the way people think of empires. You're not building a kingly monetary palace, right? You're leaving a legacy of this is how we act in our communities. This is how we give back. This is what we do to benefit those around us. This is how we act with integrity. All of that. That's key, man.
If you understand the 3 principles of service above self, right?
Right.
Will you always do the right thing?
Mhm.
Will you help somebody even if it costs you? And will you always work towards the end goal and ignore the temporary win? Right? If you can do that, you can be a public servant. And it surprises me how few people can do that, because they'll get distracted in one of those 3 things. Oh, I would help you, but it costs me. Oh, nobody's looking, so I won't. Nobody will notice. Right? That whole thing. And even when I was in the engineering world, right, inside the high tech world, and which I was in the epicenter of it,
right,
as Intel, as in microprocessors, dealing with CEOs, of these corporations, right? It was all gives and gets, all right. And one department who did software would say, well, I'll do your software for you if, right, or I'll do this, or I'll give you a machine to work your stuff out on if, right? No, I never did that as a director. I never did that. My job was to try to facilitate the entire engineering community so that they could get their job done, so that we could get that product out the door. Because that product not only made Intel money, but it also made society better. That was our philosophical discussion we used to have around the conference table, right? Even when we did these things, right? The debate when we created these things, right, with
cell phones,
right?
Yeah,
it was all about where we going. All the social problems you see about them now. We talked about every one of those, okay? But we decided to go forward in the way we did because the greater good was being served. People were more efficient. They could communicate better. All the goodness that comes from these phones was why we did what we did and the way we did it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And and so you have the cell phone today. Does it have social problems? Yeah. Because of the utilities and the social media stuff, but you can't say that's bad. Right? Would you rather go back to the 50s where the only thing you had was a newspaper?
I mean, I'd be okay with that personally, but
No, what you actually just said is you would enjoy the quiet.
I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
But you still want to know.
structure of the 50s. Yes.
You still want to know. Yeah. Right. And so those are the scales that even inside the tech world I was trying to balance, right?
So let's turn this around back to the Senate race, right? Because you're obviously, if you're elected, you're going to walk into a climate surrounded by people. Dems have the majority, right? You're going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people who have a completely different vision than you do for how to get things done and what is important, what's the government's role, and how do you work with that other side? Because that other side, a lot of them are mean-spirited twits.
Yep, they are. But
Hey, we have some mean ones on the Republican side as well.
Yeah, but they're going to embrace him.
Yeah, it's
How
just
do you work
people.
with? Yeah, how do you work with people that are so radically different in their, excuse me, in their view of how the world works and how things can get done?
Yeah, it's all about collaboration. I'm telling you, I've hit this in so many levels of my life, from when I was a field service guy to, all the way up to now. People are still people underneath all that persona, right? And if you're a great collaborator, a great listener, a great suggester, someone who thinks out of the box, right? If you know how to ask the right questions, you can make friends and get great things done with anybody. Take ideology out of it, right? Let's go do what's right. Even if you listen to the arguments today on the millionaire tax or on some of these things, their heart's in the right place. They're just implementing it.
Sure.
In the wrong way. We all want to make the lives of our constituents better. Right?
Question from the chat from Tegan. What would your first priority be if you're elected?
They ask me, I get asked this from time to time, what do I want my first bill to be?
Well, I don't even know that necessarily would be that, right? Because you might have an opportunity being elected to get involved with whatever process or issue, right? I think it's just kind of a general question.
Yeah.
Like for you, some people come into it and they're like, education is my primary
Yeah.
goal. Just whatever you have a feeling that
When you
think
give
would
your
be.
stump speech, what is it about?
Like Tara Simmons, for example, when she got elected, she wanted to get her felony history so she could buy a gun.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go. I'm sorry, Gary. I'm opining. Go ahead.
My big, probably today sitting on this couch right now, just asking me blind like that, I would really lean hard into trying to make life better for our senior community. They were here for us when we were growing up, and now, I see it every day. There's just one lady that can't afford to stay in her trailer home because her property tax is going to go so high.
Right.
And I look at things. To me, I look at things like back home where I come from in Texas. We had this problem years ago, and we just said, okay, once you're 65, your property tax freezes.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Like
go up.
Florida, right?
Huh?
Florida.
Maybe Florida
yeah.
does it too, but I just know in Texas that's what we did, right?
Yeah, I thought we give tax breaks to seniors here.
And so, but improving those kind of things
We
for
shouldn't have to
seniors,
sign it.
right? And trying to make
Yeah.
sure that they don't get forgotten and lost. So that's one place where I'm really interested, right? Education, I'm really interested in. I have a passion for all the money pieces of it, right? Being a business guy, I would really love to go dig into those spending bills.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
As a small business guy, you can sit down and read your profit and loss statement. Most elected politicians don't even know what it is.
Do that, right? But I also, being a tech guy, I also see really strange things in there. I want to go ask questions about, if you want me to expand on this a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, please do.
Because when they did the spending bill in 2025, I'm the kind of guy, I read a program that goes and decodes it all, puts it in nice little sections. I get down to the tech group, and they're spending $95 million on Microsoft 365 licenses.
Wow.
And I'm looking at that. Now, remember, I come out of this corporate thing. I know how corporations work. The state's a big corporation, just like Microsoft is,
Right.
or Amazon is. And the way that we did licensing with those corporations was they had a general license number. Their IT people had it. And so all the machines that would exist in that entity would all have that license on it,
Mhm.
right? And then they would pay for it. So it's kind of like large scale licensing, right? Well, what is a 365 license? It's what you get when you buy a machine from Costco and go home and turn it on,
Right.
and say, "Oh, I want Windows."
Basic.
Right?
Yeah.
So you understand the difference between those two licensing
Right.
methods. So why do we have $95 million worth of Microsoft 365 licenses?
Yeah.
When we can't find enough money to keep a hospital for drug addicted kids open?
Right. Kevin, you
I don't understand this correlation.
you work for the state. Do you use 365?
I work for the feds.
Oh, that's right.
I work for the feds. But yeah, Office 365 is a universal tool now.
Okay.
Like, they don't have a monopoly, but they've got a monopoly.
They got a monopoly.
I mean, you can call it whatever you want to. There's alternate programs out there, but nobody's using any of them. Your email is Outlook.
Yeah. So I'm spending, maybe it's just a pet peeve, but I'd love to go there, because we talk about we don't have money to do stuff, but yet I see things like that I could interpret very easily and go, tell me why you're doing that.
Yeah.
Why aren't you running an enterprise license over a commercial license?
I think the idea of auditing any state organization, group, anything is probably completely terrifying to those that are there right now.
Some would argue, though, that in order to get to where you want to be, right, where you're looking at the profit and loss, and you're evaluating what the bottom line of everything is and making everything make sense. Some people would say that means you've got to burn the whole thing to the ground. Like you have to shred that budget into its simplest identifications, really line out where everything is going, account for everything. That's an onerous undertaking. Do you think it's logical for something as big as the state government is to be able to take that kind of undertaking? Do you think it can be? And not that it should or not, but do you think it can be done given?
In today's technology, that should be simple. Right? If you get the right people in the room, let me have somebody from finance, let me have somebody from capital budget, let me have somebody from the tech community, right?
Yeah.
And we'll go in there, we'll break this thing down in its individual pieces. Well, if I can do it in my office myself, right?
Yeah.
And look at it, then I know that with all the resources that you would get as a state senator, you could take a focused look at this and break it all down. I just think they don't want to do it.
So speaking of all those committees you just listed, question from the chat: what committee do you want to be on?
Oh, I've been trying to think about that.
Yeah, don't know yet. It is a tough decision.
Well, there's so many I like, and I know I can't be on all of them, right? it's really
Well, you could sit in one,
Remember,
send your
you have
dog into
colleagues.
the other one.
Yeah,
Work together.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'd have to work as a team.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I get really sensitive about taxation. So capital budgets or finance, stuff like that, that would be a lot of fun for me.
Great.
Transportation would be a lot of fun for me.
Tom, quit asking him questions off the microphone, Tom. My God. Hold on. Lori's got a question. Lori, go ahead.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, nice to meet you. Have you thought about the Washington Administrative Code? I have major beef with that because basically unelected people are creating code that we have to live by.
Oh yes.
Sounds like what they happen at the federal level.
Yeah.
huh?
Right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So here's the pattern I see as I've deep dived for the last few years into, like I was telling you, there's a system by what they're doing, right? And the system basically is they write this law, they get you focused on the high energy aspects of this law. But if you look deeper into some of those bills, a lot of those bills, there's a committee that's being set up. Okay, private rights of action are systematically out of the view of the people are being set up. And we see it in business a lot with L&I, ESD, and the way that they come at us. I mean, I can't even fire somebody for being a bad person right now without them having the ability to go complain. And then it's my responsibility to prove innocence. I'm not innocent until proven guilty. I'm guilty until proven innocent. And I've been through that personally. Right. And so private rights of action, which is really what you're talking about, is one aspect of it, but it's a lot more serious than that because almost everything now is being generalized at the legislative level because that's where the public can view it, right? But the implementation aspects of things are being pushed off into these committees, all right, and then these committees are driving what goes on in the actual divisions, right? And then the divisions have been given enforcement capabilities almost across the board. That's what I've seen in the last few years. All right. So it's the building, and I write about this a lot sometimes. It's the building of the system, and that system is not in favor of the people. The system is in the support of the government itself.
Of course.
And that's what we want to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know right now, sitting on this couch, all the steps I can do, but I know how to look for opportunity.
Absolutely.
Right. And I know that I want to do that. And I think that's what the most important part is. Right.
We haven't talked at all about the law enforcement stuff at all. And but I do think we need to talk about that bill that went through this week, which is the ability which is essentially the ability for the state to set up a committee that's going to review who everybody's sheriff is. And if they don't like the sheriff, they're going to take the sheriff out, even though the sheriff is a duly elected position for the folks in the county. Do you have thoughts on that? What does that mean, do you think? And is it something that if given the opportunity, you would fight to repeal? Or
absolutely. The sheriff is our constitutional protector. Is our
That's who goes and arrests our legislators.
That's right.
Does anybody not see the horrifying reality that can come through this?
The people who don't see it are in Olympia.
and all the people that voted for them that are
That's right.
applauding this decision.
That's right.
And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to say. Right? It's a horrible thing. I am a big defender of the Constitution. Matter of fact, in a lot of my writings, you'll see me say, "Constitutional amendment, quit screwing with the with the Constitution."
Yeah.
Vote no. Right?
Yeah.
The Constitution was well written. It's written for a reason, the way it is, and it's to stop some of the shenanigans that's going on now.
Yeah.
What's more obvious in this 69th legislature, right, is I don't care what the Constitution says, we're going to do it anyway. Who's going to stop them?
No,
exactly.
There's
We're
no
in
one
a
to stop
supermajority,
them.
right? And so you talked about breaking things down before, right? It's a matter of, one of the things I like doing is keeping track of this stuff, because it's going to be unraveling a knot as soon as the pendulum will come back.
Yeah.
It's going to be some heavy lift, right, to remember all these nuances and all these things and figure out how to untie this knot that they're making right now,
Right.
and do it in a way so that we can move forward and not fall backwards.
And do you think that can happen? Because we have this super majority in Washington of Democrats, and then if someone does happen to sue, they go through their original jurisdiction court, whatever they lose, they appeal it, they go to the appellate court, maybe it's the Supreme Court, who I am just picturing this income tax going there, and the Supreme Court justices go, no, we didn't affirm that. It's fine. No, we'll just do what they say. It's that same kind of thing. Like, even though we have that judicial review, we don't have a fair judicial review in Washington State.
That's a problem.
It is.
But it's just a piece
Yeah,
of the knot
it
that has
is.
to be unraveled, right?
Right. I
And
mean,
good
that's why we have those
legislators-
checks and balances.
Good legislators can do that.
Right.
Good deliberative law can do that. Right.
Right.
Gary Parker again running for state senate against in 26 districts against Deb. God, Deb.
We're never gonna get her to come on the show.
When she does something worthy of me remembering how to pronounce her last name, I'll pronounce her last name. But I don't.
Got it down.
Krishna Danson. I have it down. I just choose not to say it. Gary, if people want to find out more about you,
yes,
your candidacy, what you stand for, what you want to do, to contact you, anything, how do they do that?
Gary Parker for Washington. Gary Parker for WA.com.
Is it the number 4 or FOR?
FOR.
FOR. Okay.
And I let people know where your barbecue stand is at.
Yes,
your
please.
restaurant.
It's so delicious.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Love to plug that. Yeah, Barbecue to You. We're in Gig Harbor. We're in the same plaza as Met Market is, right? And that's Harbor Plaza. So you'll see Met Market, you'll see Ace Hardware, and I'm right down in the corner next to Ace Hardware.
Wait,
a
in
little
Gig Harbor,
unassuming little store,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
With great barbecue and great culture. And come in and let the world come in and have some time.
How big
which
is your space?
Hold on, Kevin. Which exit is
Point
that?
Fosdick.
The Olympic exit.
The Olympic exit.
Oh.
Okay.
Olympic.
How big's your
Yeah,
space?
I
How
don't know.
many people could you fit in your place at one time? I'm just curious.
About 50.
About 50? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you during. I got a question for you during the break.
But we do catering. We do all kinds of stuff, right?
Nice.
So
Yeah.
That sounds. Sorry, I'm a
So
barbecue
good.
snob.
It's just-
I make my own sauces, my own rubs, and everything, and I just. That's really, really good.
It's so
you've
good.
made
I
Thank
can't tell
you.
you, the listeners. I can't tell you guys enough, man. It's really good stuff.
So good.
Yeah.
Get down there.
The bar.
And Paul's own kids have said I'm a better griller than
Kevin,
he is,
Kevin.
and I
Gosh,
think your
here we
food
go
is great
again.
too.
This is a professional show. No violence.
Robert Parker, no relation, said, to me, every bill should be reviewed by the AG office and be certified as constitutional. In the ideal world, I think Robert's right. The problem is the AG's office is so far up the governor's ass, it doesn't really matter anyway. There has to be some other check and balance besides what we have now. Robert, I know you got to be out of here right at 8.
What'd you?
So
You just called him Robert.
did I really?
Yeah,
Crap.
you're
Jesus,
Robert.
Gary.
Yeah.
Robert,
Dude.
Robert, shut up and chat. You're confusing me. Gary Parker. Gary, thanks for coming in, man. This is great. Can we do this again?
Thanks
Hope I
for
want to
bringing
come
us-
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and tonight,
These are fun.
like I talked to you about, man, for us, those first interviews, this is about people getting to know who you are,
Right.
right?
Right.
More so than it's about us grilling you with questions.
Next
Those
time
will
you
come next
back.
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
next time.
Okay.
You'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
All right.
Oh, yeah, he was ready tonight.
I heard
He's
that
ready to
I
go.
heard that Gergen told me we actually popped his cherry on interviews. So
Oh,
We're
did
your first interview?
You're my first interview.
It's
And
all
you
downhill from here, man.
did so good.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah, you did really good, man. And listen, I'm excited. You know, when we're done, we're going to go to the top of the hour, and then we come back. We're going to spend about 10 minutes talk about you behind your back.
Okay.
So when you get out to your car, you know, go onto your Facebook and listen to it or something while you're driving.
Oh, I'll have it on.
There you go. Don't use your phone while you drive. But, but listen while you drive.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you to your face. I think it's cool that a normal citizen, a regular business owner, a normal guy that knows what it's like to do business and the cost of what it takes to do business and to interact in the community and what the effect of these taxes are. Most of the folks in Olympia don't have any idea what a 5% hike in an energy tax bill is gonna do,
right?
Because they're so removed from it. But you get it.
I get it.
Because you've been living in it and you live in it now.
Right.
And that's not going to change if you get elected. You're still going to have the stuff that you do. So I'm really excited for you. I hope that it continues to go well. We'll be in touch. We'll get you scheduled. We'll have you come in again.
Yep. Let's get it done.
You have my number now,
Hold on.
too,
One quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was brought up.
He
in
just
chat.
has to be out of here at 8.
Wanted to know if you had enough room to handle a church group of about 30 on a Sunday.
He just said he took 50.
Yeah.
Did he? Well, I heard that he could seat 50, but that's
Oh,
on
yeah.
a Sunday. It's a different story.
Oh, no,
Staffing
no,
issues.
We have lots of that happens.
Perfect.
Right? We just when it's that big, just call us so we make sure we reserve the lobby.
Yeah, because barbecue takes time to cook.
Yeah, my that brisket process is a 24-hour process.
Okay, well that
That's why
explains.
it's so good.
Melted in my
Really good,
mouth.
dude. It's so good.
I mean, I'm already
So
picking
good.
up the brisket container. None of the rest of you get any.
Although
Excuse me, I will fight you for
although,
that.
Hold on, I got to be honest though.
Yeah,
The
well, I'm the
brisket's-
strong man in the room. I get the brisket.
The
That's how that
brisket's
goes.
amazing. Your significant other isn't here to fight your battles for you, Paul. Shut up. The brisket's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm really hard on macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And that mac and cheese is amazing.
It's really
Awesome.
good.
That is probably the best mac and cheese I've ever had, and I'm really picky on mac and cheese. That's probably the best I've ever had. Gary, man, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
We do.
Thanks for having
Good to
me.
meet you.
We'll do it again. We'll coordinate and get you back in again at least once, maybe a few more times before we get to primaries in
All right.
in August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you don't have to bring us barbecue all the time.
You don't.
Like we'll never tell you no.
We'll
but-
still like you even if you don't.
But I'm
bring
just
us
saying,
food,
your
but-
appearance
You don't
is
have to,
But
but it helps.
dot. But we appreciate you, man.
I kind of use it as a business card.
yeah,
That's
I like
That's right.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check out more Gary Parker, FORWA.com.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary.
I do
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna get Gary out of here. We're gonna take our commercial break so Beeler can go take care of the 12-year-old bladder, and then when we come back, we are going to
It's going to get heavy.
yeah, we're gonna talk about him behind his back.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we eat the food that he brought us, because why not? And then after that, listen, there's a lot of other national and international stuff to talk about. Like the coffers are full of things, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
A lot of stuff going on.
Questions you've got, put them in chat. We'll take a look at those as well. Stick around. It's Outlaw Radio Network. Hour 2 around the corner at outlawradionetwork.com.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I
Paul,
have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone.
I
Mansplain.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Outlaw Radio Network.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, proudly supporting our veterans in the Bremerton community. Visit them online at destinationhighway420.com. 21 and over.
Cannabis has intoxicating effects and may be habit forming. Keep out of the reach of children.
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
Get your popcorn ready. It's the Outlaw Radio Network. It's the Outlaw Radio Network. It's the Outlaw Radio Network. It's the Outlaw Radio Network.
The older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.
It's kind of stony, huh?
It's a real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents
The Outlaw Radio Network. Outlaw Radio Network.
To provide guidance to mankind.
Outlaw Radio. Thanks again to Gary Parker, running for 26th District Senate seat. The upcoming August primaries, November election against Deb. Whatever, Deb. I will say her name when one of two things happens.
Mm-hmm.
When she comes on the show, or when she does something in Olympia worthy of me remembering her name. And don't give me any crap about how well they're elected. You should give them the respect. They don't talk to me, so I don't owe them nothing. I certainly didn't vote for her. So yeah,
tell us how you really feel, brother.
No, I could lie, but I don't want to.
Well, we're all well aware of it, considering we've been trying to get Michelle Caldier on here since Moby Dick was a minnow. But you're so obsessed with the $20 she ripped your kid.
No, but stop! You shut your mouth. I don't bring it up anymore. You guys bring it up more than I do. You put me in a position where then I got to talk about it, and I even apologized and said I was going to drop it.
But the damage was done, bro.
I don't care if the damage was done. Listen, if you don't listen,
that's like I've told you I was sorry for running over your cat in the driveway. The cat was dumb enough to get under my tire. Like
listen.
Oh, you did that, didn't
you? Listen, Linda.
Really?
The problem is
I can go all Beeler on your ass and hit you.
If you live your life without integrity, do not be surprised when people do not forget your lack of integrity. Michelle Caldier Valdez, Michelle Caldier Valdez. Right? So if you don't
Michelle
have
Tripper
integrity,
Valdez, yeah.
If you don't have integrity, don't be shocked when people remind you didn't have integrity, Tara Simmons. When you don't have integrity, don't be surprised people bring up your lack of integrity, Emily Randall. I'm sorry. If you F up, we will remind you. I will remind you. That's my job. And if you don't want me to remind you, then don't F up.
So, speaking of Emily Randall,
I'm going to bring Tom on camera, by the way.
I can announce that on the
should warn me, Sam. Pick my nose.
There you go, buddy.
On the 22nd of March, we will have Fox on, who's running against her for Congress.
Perfect.
7 o'clock.
Perfect.
You know, I think as long as she has a heartbeat, she's going to get my vote.
Well,
damn.
Oh, wait, I don't live in the 23rd.
Listen, I will tell you this.
I don't get to vote there either.
She
Oh,
posted.
I live in the 6th though.
Yeah, I have a business in Port Orchard, and I don't get to vote here either.
You don't?
No, because I don't live in Port Orchard city limits. But I have a business here, so how things go.
I think that's the
affects-
most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Like, I own property in Bremerton, though I live in Gorst.
Yeah.
Right.
So you think that a corporation has a vote?
I'm not talking about corporations.
Well,
but,
I mean, a person who has a business.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Well, I think an individual should be able to vote where they have interest.
And they're going to be taxed.
I don't.
And they're going to
disagree
pay
with that.
tax,
I
right?
don't disagree with that, but how many times have we heard how bad that Supreme Court decision was all those years ago? Citizens United, right? Corporations.
But corporations aren't people.
to
So
speak.
to me, it's two different things. I don't think businesses should be able
Well,
to vote.
I'm drawing the. I'm drawing.
But I think
the
if you
comparison.
own a business,
Yeah.
you get a vote.
Look, I don't disagree with you. I
And
agree.
Citizens United was more about funding and PACs and donations and all of that.
Because corporations were allowed to have speech, and that speech was processed as money.
Yeah. Well, that
I mean, the other side to that argument though is I have a business in Port Orchard city limits. I pay taxes to city of Port Orchard.
You do,
but I don't get a voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me clarify so we understand what I'm saying here. I agree. That's why I agreed with Citizens United, because as a small business person, I felt, hey, I'm Citizen Paul. I get my vote, but my business is over here. I should get a say so here too.
Right.
That's my point.
Yeah, if you're paying into the system.
Yes.
I mean, there's plenty of ways for statutes and bills and laws and regulations to be twisted and perverted.
And Citizens United has been twisted because now we see corporations and others creating super PACs, etc.
Right.
So
but I just want people to vote. Businesses don't get a vote, but so if you're an individually owned business,
okay, so
should
you
vote.
don't think Tom should have a right to have a vote in Port Orchard where he has
No,
a
that
business?
he's
No, that's what I just said.
No, he's saying I do.
I think
Saying
Tom
not
as a
corporation.
person,
Yeah,
Tom as a person should have the
but
right to
not
vote,
Tom's business.
but not Tom's business.
Right.
Thank
Black
you.
Ring Spirits should not vote.
Right.
I should vote.
Tom Martin should vote.
Heather should vote.
Yeah, you're
Right,
think
because
you're
I mean
missing
we're
my point.
both
I'm not saying
business
the
owners on
business should.
paper.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
As a business, if you live one place, you should be able to vote there, but you should be able to have a voice in the name of your business too,
right?
Because your business is a tax-paying entity within the community.
Right.
But then how do we qualify that? Because then like
Easy.
Tom
You get a
lives
business
outside
license
of
and an
Port Orchard.
EIN.
Is Walmart going to vote?
Probably already has that.
Well, I guarantee you he has that.
But then how do we structure the election is what I'm talking about. You
Yeah,
guys
no,
are
I don't-
thinking, oh, we can
I
do
don't-
this, but on the backside
I'm not
of the election,
suggesting
it's
an
a
answer
whole,
for it. I'm not suggesting that I have an answer. I'm just suggesting that his point is correct.
I agree with this point as well.
I have an
Yeah.
answer.
Oh.
People that
Guru
own
Kevin,
if a business is owned by a person, they get a vote. If they're owned by a huge ass board,
But
they
it's
don't
not the
get a vote.
business. It's Tom voting.
but
So
he
Tom
can't
get-
vote.
Tom- right.
He can't vote a Port Orchard Muni election.
Right, but
and
Tom
then,
should be able to, because he's a small business. I think it depends how you. How,
Except then he's voting on the same issues twice. Okay, that's where the problem.
But not really.
But you are if you're getting a ballot for your house and a ballot for your business.
Right, but my house is not in the city of Port Orchard.
And
Okay, and what if it's a statewide election?
Well, if it's a statewide thing, then
you just do
then,
separate
I mean,
ballots.
yeah, there's got to be
Then that's
something.
two different ballots.
No, you could
Right,
do
but
a
I
separate-
shouldn't be able to vote as
No.
Black Ring Spirits owner
Right.
for I don't know state rep or state senate or whatever, and then also vote as me. So I see where Alicia's
well, but
question
let me ask a question. And Beeler's far more schooled on this than any of us are because of her extensive experience in the elections thing. So I'm asking questions. Look, I just gave you props.
Yeah, but
I'm
Thanks,
asking
Kevin.
questions. So could Port Orchard, for example, come out with a separate ballot that is only citywide elections for people that own businesses in the city? Like it would all be the same ballot for everybody. The people that own Willow Treats would get it. The people that own Black Ring Spirits would get it. The people that own Carmelo's would get it. But it would just be a separate business owner only ballot. That they
So
could
it'd
do
be
that, couldn't
just the
They
just
absolutely could if it was just the issue at
Just
hand,
the
as long
issues-
as it didn't show up on the other ballot.
right. I mean, if it was a ballot that covered only the city of Port Orchard stuff,
Yeah.
and left all the other state, county, blah.
Yeah,
blah,
it would
blah.
just be treated as a different kind of municipality where, because elections officials, they put on the local municipality elections,
Right.
state, county, federal. So
Right.
as long as you grouped it into just that group of voters, it could. I mean, it's doable.
And I'm going to say this, Tom, because I think I can't speak for everybody else, but I don't know if any of you guys have ever owned a business, and that's not a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it
I have
is
an
a
OnlyFans.
unique perspective. Right.
Yeah.
Because when you live in one area, right.
Mhm.
And so you get to, wherever you live, you get to vote. That's normal stuff. Everybody gets to do that.
Right.
But when you own a business in a different city, it does impact you because you're your own tax-paying entity for the business.
Mhm.
And to Tom's point, it's like, but as a business owner, there's different concerns, right?
Mhm.
Different taxes and stuff like that.
Sure.
And it does suck that as a small business owner, like I don't live in Bremerton, but I have a business in Bremerton, but I don't get any say so over
Right.
anything that happens there. And so on that level, and that's why I said, like, I supported Citizens United when it first happened, but because I do believe that businesses, because of what they are, as
Gary,
an
if you're listening, we're going to talk about you in a minute.
that they should be able to have some sort of say. And unfortunately, we don't. I wish we lived in a world where we did.
But, but here's
we
but here's the larger question though, where do you draw the line? Because I could make a very easy jump from Tom as a business owner should be able to vote where his business is at, even if he doesn't live there, to I'm Tom's employee and I work at Tom's business, but I don't live in Tom's, but I should be able to vote because I'm still accountable for some of the taxes and I have to use the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you're really extrapolating. way
Well,
too
no, but I'm just saying, how far out do you expand that argument?
I don't think
we don't live in that world, but I think that a business owner, somebody who has the EIN in their name,
Right.
should have some degree of say so, because like we saw from the
You know-
state representatives in that video that was just put out,
Yeah.
they don't give a shit about you if you go there to testify. Oh, you want to talk about the new law we're working on about sheriffs? We don't fucking care. We're not
Right.
listening to you, and they acknowledge that, right? And that is the shit place that politicians, mostly Democrats, have taken politics in this state, and it's disgusting.
Agreed.
Okay, I'm off the high horse now.
No, I liked it. It was good.
All right, can we talk about Gary Parker?
Yes, we need to talk
No-
about.
no relation to Robert, by the way. I'm gonna keep
Don't
saying
call
it.
him Robert.
I can't believe you called him Robert.
You know what? I'm tired. I was up
I get
at 5 o'clock this morning, which was really 4.
Now taking bets that we're out of here by 10.
I am always down to go late. Always. It doesn't matter how tired I am. This is my life.
We need to get you out more, brother.
Thoughts about our conversation with Gary.
And let's ladies first. If you want to go first, Professor, go ahead.
I thought he was very well articulated for his first time. He did absolutely amazing just being on the spot like that. That's good to see. I think he has a lot of great ideas. I love what he does with the community. That's huge for me.
I'd like to grow to that size sometime. Someday.
I think he needs to play on that and really
give
be
back.
that horse.
Yeah, no, give back. Giving back is important.
Absolutely, it is.
It's
Yeah.
leading by example.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. No, I think he's a great candidate. I'm really excited to see him go up against this lady.
Yeah, I it's hard, right? As you can attest to when you've got an incumbent there, and I don't know what the odds are, but they're not good.
Right.
But having said that, she hasn't been in the position too long. She was, I don't remember her history specifically. Did she win one election, or was she just appointed in the?
She was
last?
appointed and then she beat Caldier.
Okay, so she just beat Calder
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
No,
because
last year.
Last year. Okay, so I think he's got everything you look for in a candidate, right?
Right.
He leads by example. He's heavily involved in the community.
Yeah, he puts his money where his mouth is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the more involved a person is with nonprofit, it just says a lot about their character
Absolutely.
and who they are.
Yeah.
I don't think you could literally ask for any more.
I was gonna tell him I was just gonna send my mom down for all those senior nights.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah,
I
get
might
her
be
out of
coming
my
down there soon myself. I just celebrated my 54th birthday.
I know you did.
Yeah. So it's kind of
I was the first one to say happy
I know.
birthday.
Happy
God,
birthday.
you're so old.
Happy birthday, butt munch.
54.
Well, why?
Hey, why don't you bite your tongue? I've been 54 since last July.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Kevin's
you're
like
so old,
7 months
too.
older.
Damn, you guys are old.
I'm not 54.
I'm kidding. How old are you, Tom?
52.
There you go.
Tom's
And if
right
we're
around the
old,
corner.
yeah. Because Dennis is older than 54. I'm going to say this, and I think this is a negative that is actually a positive, right? we asked a lot of questions, and some of the stuff he wasn't 100% sure. I think he's still kind of working out his platform and what he knows and what he believes. And I think that some people are going to have listened to that and come out of it like, well, he should know about X, Y, and Z.
No.
What I think was the best thing that he said when we asked him about that was, I don't know the answer to that, but I know about working with other people. I know about figuring out compromise. I know about teamwork. I know about, figuring out solutions. And I think anybody that runs for office that says they understand fully any of this is an outright liar.
That one of the things I appreciate most about people in general, I really respect a person that can say, I don't know.
Absolutely.
So many people are uncomfortable with the idea of admitting, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can't know everything.
You cannot.
And so I appreciate when someone says, I don't know.
I do too.
And it's even better when they follow it up with, I'll
get back to you.
Yeah.
And if we asked Tara Simmons, if we asked Emily Randall, if we asked Dan Griffey, if we asked Travis Couture, they've all been in those seats for a long time. The honest ones.
The only thing Tara Simmons knows is what aisle her dog is shit.
The honest ones are going to say, I'm really good at some of this stuff, but some of this other stuff I haven't even figured out yet, And the dishonest ones are going to say, I got this all figured out. And I think we can extrapolate from what we know about people.
Nobody has it all figured out.
Dan Griffey, Travis Couture are going to be pretty straight up, honest, straight to the point people.
I've heard Travis say, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Tara Simmons is going to play it off like she knows everything. But my point is, some people are going to call it a negative that he didn't have firm, like platformal things to say.
I think it's still.
I think it's a positive that he is not coming in with a canned message.
Yeah.
You can tell he wasn't in front of a mirror rehearsing major specific talking points. He just spoke about who he is in the
raw truth, brother.
Yeah,
That's what
the
he did.
existence of who he is. And that is exactly what we need at Olympia.
High five. Yeah.
I don't want anybody in Olympia that thinks they have all the answers and has it all figured out, because that's who we've been electing in this state for the last 40 years. And where has it gotten us? It's gotten us a group of people that overtax the crap out of us, lie to our faces, and are so elitist that they don't have an issue with the fact that it's now gotten out that they don't even want to listen to anybody who comes and speaks about the bills, because none of us peons matter. And when we do pass a bill through an initiative, $30 license tabs, they give us the finger and overturn it anyway.
With a secret vote to boot.
That's what we've been electing. I don't want any more of that. I would gladly settle for the Gary Parkers who honestly say, I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. And my experience tells me this is what it feels like to live the effects of what the legislature has done, because he's been doing it as a small business owner and as a nonprofit dude.
Yeah.
Like, he gets it. And this isn't a red or blue thing, right? I'm not ripping on Dems. If there's a Dem that wants to run a small business, that has actually had a business that's worked, that's been profitable, that's been successful, that knows what it means when their power bill goes up X percent, when the minimum wage goes up 50 cents per, when the insurance rates go through the roof, when the cost of getting your supplies delivered to you or delivered from you skyrocket because we've added extra gas tax and everything else that goes along with it, and they understand the implications because they live it. I'm all down for that.
There's no I do not think there are any Dems that fit that description, Kevin.
You listen. I
don't know. I just wanted to say, to me, this isn't a party thing. This is a life experience,
and
thing.
that's fair. But I think and Tom, you tell me if this is accurate for you or not. But when you're a small business owner, it's like raising a newborn, and
perpetually,
yes,
a perpetual newborn.
Yeah, well added. That's a perfect line to use. And it is so important to be so intimately involved with every single aspect. Like, Tom has to buy his ingredients locally.
That's not the problem.
Stop. No, Tom, I'm making the point.
Where I want to go to kind of follow up what Kevin was talking about, delivery of stuff, like packaging. I just bought a couple of pallets of glass, more bottles, right?
Bottles, yeah.
Kind of an important part of a distillery.
Right.
My shipping was damn near the same cost as my actual bottles.
You can't get them locally? I mean, in the area.
Not the style he likes.
This was as local as I could.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still had to deal with shipping.
When you say local as you could, would you mind giving us a region? Or location?
Northern California was part of it, and then I did go after kind of a bougie specialty bottle, and I had to get those from Illinois.
Gotcha.
But the bulk of them came out of California. But between the cost of insurance to ship glass, which
Right.
is ridiculous, and then the fuel,
yeah,
my shipping cost almost as much as my glass did.
Jeez, that's insane.
Yeah, but listen, and I will agree with Paul to the extent that I think when you become a small business owner, for the most part, if you didn't start out Republican, you slowly will become.
You're going to become one.
Yeah,
Or a libertarian.
Yeah, well,
because I'm someone fiscally conservative.
Whenever I say Republicans, I include in that libertarians because you guys are like a fringe Republican.
But
like,
no, we're
sideshow.
not even close.
Yeah, you are.
I mean,
You're
look
a
at
fringe
Rand Paul.
Republican.
Close.
Right. It's like going to the
You guys
circus.
are on the right side of the spectrum. So
Just
that's where
fiscally.
that comes from.
It's like going to the circus to the elephants, and you got the clowns on the side. Okay, so
political theory, you are on the right
I am-
side of center. Thank you.
I am so misunderstood because
technically they
on social
connect
issues,
the left and the right.
Their
It's a circle.
libertarians are left of center. So
so libertarians are all about individual liberty and to fucking hell with the agendas of either the left or the right. Enough with the agenda bullshit. Individual liberty.
Get it.
But you have your own agenda.
But I don't.
But libertarians have an agenda.
But they don't.
Everybody has an agenda.
No,
That's
their
why you're-
agenda is
that's why you're a party.
you should be able to live you as you. And if that means that you want to have blue hair and soak in a tub of green jello at the end of your day.
But can your 16-year-old
Were you watching me last night?
Off?
I might have been. Your 16-year-old does not have the privileges of majority until they're 18.
Gotcha. I'm there.
So
I'm there with you. Tom's making me more and more libertarian almost every day.
Look, hold on.
Actually, I agree with a lot of the tenets that you guys hold.
Right?
The libertarian fantasy.
It's hard as a conservative to not agree with a lot of
Exactly.
The
They
libertarian fantasy is great in principle. It really is.
Here we come with it, but your perennial loser speech.
Well, but the problem is you can have every great idea in the world. If nobody votes for you, who cares?
well, yeah, I mean, you're right.
You know?
But let's talk about just voting in general.
Yeah.
What's the voter turnout in Washington State?
That's irrelevant.
Under 40%. No, the first thing we have to do is teach people how to get off their ass and vote. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
The first thing you have to do is give somebody a candidate that they're excited to vote for. That's part of the problem in this state. There is nobody in this state that people hear speak, that people hear talk, that they get excited about. The Republican Party just dry humped themselves over Dave Reichert. Hold on. Over Dave Reichert, who was a good candidate. But that dude could not deliver a message if he put it into AI and it made a commercial for him.
You're right.
And as long as
dry humped,
and as long as the Republican Party,
you're right, Lori. He's out of the closet.
As long as the Republican Party cannot deliver an inspiring candidate, and the Democrats have the D next to their name, this is going to continue to be an issue in the state.
So what
the Republicans need a transformational leader to step out to shock this state away from the left.
Politics needs a transformational character. Period.
No,
Not
the
just on the
Democrats
state
don't.
level.
Tom is right.
Not on the state level.
Tom is wrong. The Democrat,
hold on, I didn't interrupt
I
you.
know. Tom is wrong because the Democrats don't need it because
God,
they
you're
have
like
power.
my ex-wife.
I'm talking.
No, the difference is I'd put out for you. Listen.
Oh,
you
he
don't
did come out of the closet.
You don't keep your mouth shut for 3 seconds so somebody else can get a word in edgewise.
I'm just saying Democrats do not need transformational leaders in this state because they have the power. So as long as they have the power, they can sit on their hands and do absolutely
Well,
nothing.
that's
The Republicans
very
have to do
true.
better. But go ahead, Paul.
Way to save your statement there. All right. So what I was going to say to Tom's point,
are you thinking about me putting
is
out, Paul?
is that you need help.
Do you want to trade spots? Like,
No, I'll get violent.
are you sure?
Yeah,
Paul, can I pull your hair tonight?
So
Yeah, I told him not to touch my hair again.
that's probably a wise choice.
I know.
Anyway, to Tom's point about the 30% turnout for voting, right? Here's why he's 1,000% right about that. Because almost everybody I know that doesn't vote, and it's a lot of them, it's way too many to be acceptable, but they all suffer from the same goddamn mindset, which is that their vote won't matter in this state.
Mhm.
That's the issue. So to your point, Kevin,
Well,
about having a candidate that excites people to get out the vote, that's part of it. But if they don't think their vote is going to matter, and why? Because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And what does everybody sitting in this studio believe to be the case? That somehow somebody is out there on the routine fucking with the vote tallies in this state.
So I don't think it's that.
We have
okay
sort of proof that
I'm to a small degree. I'm going to agree. I mean, we have some proof down in Georgia or whatever too. But I mean, ultimately, the problem isn't the little bit of corruption that's in the voting system. It's the fact that people just don't show up and vote.
Okay,
they don't.
Go ahead,
go ahead, Beal.
Did you guys see the story on the Department of Licensing's back door that they left open? And people have been going in there and
Speaking of leaving your back door open, Paul, how you
Shut
doing?
the fuck up. You know what I meant.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I actually was a victim of that.
Were
in
you, Lori?
2022?
Hold on. We all were victims of that.
No. I was in Tampa, Florida, landed, and my driver's license renewal did not come through. It had been sent to someone else, and my rental car got canceled. And
Wow.
I ended up in a fancy chop shop renting a car in Florida.
Well, the word that came out this week is that the latest thing that came out this week about this very hack is that they believe that any and every person in the state of Washington with an ID card, driver's license, enhanced license, any of that, everybody, not most, we don't have any idea.
It's time for a
Literally
class action.
there was one filed on Friday.
Here's the problem, though. If the state loses, we're all going to end up paying for it anyway.
Oh, I know. That's the best part. That's the best part. This gets back to me, the Joe Kennedy theory, right?
Suing ourselves.
Joe Kennedy sues Bremerton High School for wrongful termination. They pay out a $1.3 million payout or whatever it was. The school doesn't pay for that out of mystical money that they grew in their backyard off of a lemon tree. That money comes from the voters and the people in the district that pay for it.
Well,
and the
it
insurance company that jacks up the rate.
Yeah, it came from the insurance company that's going to screw them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, hold on really quick. But back to our guest. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Gary.
No more
Gary
rabbit
Parker.
hole.
Gary Parker. Anybody else have any comments on Gary Parker? I like the guy. I really do.
I thought he was
great.
great.
Yes.
And I would expect when he comes back in a month or two, whenever we
He'll
book him to come
have
back
his
in
platform
again,
down.
he's gonna have done a little more work, and he's gonna have some platform stuff, and we're gonna say, what about this? He's gonna say, well, I don't know it 100%, but this is what I think, and he's gonna lay some stuff out.
Well, he's gonna do it with his Texas accent, though, Kevin.
I'm
Can you try
excited.
that?
I'm excited
Can you say it
to.
again?
I think Texas
the
accents are great.
Can you say it again?
Say what?
Try it. Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
Okay, so
there's a snake in my boot.
Did any of you catch what he said about how he was using computer analysis to go through the codes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need people doing that because when I brought up the WAC question, Washington Administrative Code, we're being ruled by unelected people, bureaucrats.
Yes.
And it's a bunch of junk.
Yes, and the Supreme Court has already ruled at the federal level that that's not constitutional.
Correct.
So somebody needs to be able to challenge that on the state level. Not that our state Supreme Court would help us.
Well,
but we've got to move that up. We've got to get that up to the.
I want to ask Beeler a question about this because I'm not sure.
What's up?
So the state rules on a state issue, let's say the income tax, and the state says we're upholding that.
Okay.
Can that then be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though it involves the state constitution?
It'll go to the Ninth Circuit first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but it can still move.
Yeah, it can move up there.
Even though it's only a state issue, it can still go to federal shit. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And we need to look at our judiciary.
Yeah.
That is critical.
What, the state level judiciary?
Mhm. Yeah. Rick, I think it's Rick Larson. Sorry. Who just recently retired is now running for Larson is running for Supreme Court.
Right. He is a great man. I've
Oh,
met him
yeah.
several times. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't
Nice
have
guy.
you say that enough about him.
Mhm.
Talking
he's
about him.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he is coming out of retirement because of the income tax law.
Yeah.
He is representing Washington State.
Oh, we got to
citizens.
get him on.
Yes. I've already reached out to him.
Oh,
I don't know.
Awesome.
But he is representing a class action lawsuit against the income tax right
Good.
now.
Good. I like that.
To the point we were talking earlier, Bruce pointed out. So Ferguson was exciting, question mark, about as much as a wet noodle. I mean, on a wet noodle's good day.
Yeah, Bruce.
Problem was we all knew he was going to win. So
I know. Stupid.
because
Thank you, Washington.
I personally have the mindset now that and you know, I'm not a member of the Republican Party, but I do identify as a Republican. Kind of makes me feel trans in a way. But
You are
here's the
trans.
thing. Here's the thing.
Among other things.
It's like the Republican Party does dumb shit in this state, man. You know, all of that stuff with semi-bird, and like neither side would listen to each other. They just keep bludgeoning each other over the head with war clubs, you know, and then they couldn't understand why there was no traction for their candidates because you assholes beat the hell out of each other. You know, it's to some degree, Kevin, it's like when you pointed out so many times, hey, Republican Party, you're endorsing Michelle Colvaldi or whatever her name is this week, you know, after she did all of these things, but at no point in time did she even mention her own level of culpability, you know, tripping a constituent, shit like that, right? You know, caucusing with the Democrats, like everything that she was doing was showing the middle finger to conservatives in her own district. And so if there's no contrition, right, from people who didn't do right by their electorate, I think that's a big problem. I think people are willing to forgive and forget, but without the contrition, there's an issue with honor and integrity.
I absolutely agree with that, but I would just say that
And you're speaking from experience on this.
The people that keep voting these people in believe that these people are doing a good job. And
So right.
until we make them see this is not good for us, we're never going to get these people out
which
of
is why our voices in shows like this are so important.
Absolutely.
So I have personal experience with a client of mine in my outside work, right? You know, not in the distillery,
Right. On that OnlyFans page, yeah.
My OnlyFans page. You know, someone I do some trades work for. Super nice lady.
He trades dollars for hand jobs, but go ahead.
Yeah. Super nice lady. She's
Lori was right.
Yeah.
She's kind of a Democrat in the same way Kevin is.
Okay.
Right. You know, you're more common sense, I guess. You know,
that blue dog Reagan kind of Democrat.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's of an age where she still trusts legacy media.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Right. So she's of an age where, you know, she remembers Walter Cronkite. She remembers Tom Brokaw. She remembers when you used to be able to listen to the evening news, regardless of what channel it was.
Still remembers the soup lines during the Great Depression. I hear you.
No, not quite that old, but close.
Uphill both ways in the snow.
Right. And so when we have these, you know, we have conversation often about, you know, taxes and life and, you know, life in Washington, et cetera, et cetera. She has all the same complaints as every person in this room, but she's still part of the electorate that has helped keep
those people
the Dems in power.
That is an uneducated electorate.
Right.
No, it's mental illness.
And no, it really isn't,
It's
though.
not.
It is genuinely an uneducated voter who has not kept up with the times. And we have, I mean, you have to factor that in.
That's why I appreciate our listeners, right? Because they get active in the chat room. There is, I don't want to say a certain amount of the electorate is waking up because I don't really know, but at least when we're having these conversations and people in our chat room are being actively involved with this, it shows that people are engaged in the conversation.
Right.
They want to have the conversation, right? It's just, there's very few platforms that allow them to. And, you know, we're an open free platform unless you're a douche waffle named Holly. But other than that, you're free to speak your piece.
Right. But the trouble is, I mean, some of these folks are just not looking at the very, very basic common sense of the Dems have been in control of Washington State since what, 1988? Is that what it is, Paul?
You are correct. Yep.
Yeah. 88. Nothing's changed.
Well, I
Quit
think
voting with the D.
if there's ever been a time in
You're going to
history,
give Kevin ideas.
if there's ever been a time in history when people should wake up and realize that now is the point that we cannot keep going down this road that we're going on with the amount of taxes we're paying, we're all gonna flounder, and they're gonna go, "Gosh, how did I not see that? We've been fucking telling you."
Alicia's filming her commercials for her next political campaign.
But
I'm Alicia Beeler, and I've approved this message.
But the problem is, it's like, you know, you've got your average D, your average Democrat, And
I don't have an average D, but go ahead.
4 inches is acceptable.
Yeah. You're doing fine, Kevin. You're doing fine.
Thank you.
You've got your average Democrat that they hear the rhetoric of orange man bad.
Yes.
And all the woes of society are because of conservative or Republican ideas.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep voting D.
Yeah.
Notice I mentioned my non-average D, and now Beeler's getting some beef. Listen, here's the problem. Here's why I disagree with you, Tom. You guys are talking about this is an uneducated population.
It is.
Hold on. Hear me out. I don't think that's it. I think there's a difference between uneducated and not not caring.
And
the problem is they are educated, and here's why I know.
But they're not mutually exclusive.
Let me explain. Here's why I know that they're educated. Because you can't pay your bills every month and not be educated. From this year,
beg to differ.
From last year to this year, okay, my energy use in my house dropped slightly. Okay, my power bill is 35% higher than it was this time last year.
Yep.
So we can say, well, these people aren't educated.
On the issues, they are not.
But hold on. On the issues, it doesn't really matter because the end result is people vote on what they know. And if they don't know the issues and the things we're arguing about, they certainly know what they're paying for. They know that rent prices have skyrocketed, property values have skyrocketed, interest rates have skyrocketed, utility payments have skyrocketed, everything, a pound of bacon is skyrocketed, everything is more expensive. So whether they know the debates about immigration or tax code, none of that crap matters. Because their pocketbook tells them this is bad, and that so it's not about educated or not. It's about I'm going to swear. I'm so fucking stupid. I'd rather continue to see my costs accelerate for this rainbow unicorn crap that the party has sold to me because I think it's going to give me something I don't already have. I'm just going to ignore the rest of it.
Well, Kevin,
so it's not about education. It's about we're just going to be blind.
We love you.
I think
but
it's part of
we're going to
that.
tell you why you're wrong. Go ahead.
I think it's part of that and part of what Tom said. But
So
I
hold on. So
also-
partly I'm right. Suck it, Paul. Go ahead. Well, just Paul said I was wrong, and that's not what he
you're
said.
very
But
wrong. If
I
Lori
think-
doesn't put you in your place, I'll do it.
But I think the biggest thing is that a lot of the voters, and I'm going to generalize in the metropolitan Seattle area, have been part of this club. And I'm calling it a club. It's a social activity. They get together. They're sent Facebook messages. What is the next agenda item? What am I protesting this week or whatever? And they don't want to deviate from that because they've seen people on the national stage change their mind and suddenly be pushed out of the Democrat Party. They've seen people in the local scene in Seattle get pushed out.
But do you think that's a majority of the people voting blue? I mean, because
I think a lot of them are scared of change as a whole, as their normal operating procedure in their life, but they're also scared to not be part of the club, the fear of missing out, the fear of not being part of the club and having to find new friends. To be totally honest, that's a lot of what I'm hearing in the corporate world is I agree with so much of what, the Republicans are saying. I agree. And I'm hearing that from
And you ran as a Democrat, by the way, so people are
but
looking
I'm
to
not-
understand where you're coming
But
from.
I'm not talking about my perspective. I'm talking
Right.
about people I work with who are very, very educated, but they're scared. They're scared their job's going to be impacted.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm very, very low key for a reason because it impacts my job.
Oh, Kevin said it
hold on.
because you don't have anything decent to talk about.
But hold on, that's not what I said. But hold on. But here I didn't say that. Don't give me the finger. You give it to Paul.
No,
he
I
made
gave
that
it
up.
to Paul.
She gave it to me.
Here's my question though. I'm not saying you're wrong, but what doesn't wash to me is that if I'm a classic Democrat,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and in my private headspace,
Wait, classic or classy?
classic, like I've
thank God.
continued to
Okay.
vote Democrat,
All right.
repeated elections
Moderate.
throughout whatever, right?
Yeah.
And in my private headspace, I'm looking at this going, man, they've really crossed a line. And I agree with what some of the Republicans are saying now.
Right.
What's stopping me from voting? It's not public record. My employer's not going to see that I voted Republican or that I branched off.
You're not, if you're going to vote differently, you're not going to go to the meetings. You're not going to be part of the Facebook group. You're not going to be public about doing the agenda item. One of the things I've done in research on someone's page that we've blocked is to see the boot camps that go on, boot camps, electronic, digital boot camps that are pushed out, and they train them how to protest, how to stand up when you're at work, how to push on people at work.
Holly, are we talking about you?
So, all these things are happening. And if you deviate from that,
but hold on, but what percentage?
Then you are outcast.
What percentage of the party then do you think is doing that active? Because I would argue that the
In
loud,
Seattle?
well, just in general, right? The loud, voluminous part of the party is probably 5, maybe 8% of people that are voting Democrat, and probably 94% are in this. Well, I'm going to vote blue because I always vote blue, and that's blue makes sense to me. But I'm going to vote blue without any kind of rationalization about why I'm still voting blue. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't think that 90% of voters that are voting Democrat have anything to do with protests and rallies and background stuff.
Right.
They're just voting blue because they feel good about
But
it.
they're doing the Facebook messages. They're putting
Yeah.
the words out there. They're doing the keyboard warrior. And what I'm talking about is probably 50 to maybe 70% of what I would call your Seattle Democrat, greater Seattle, Tacoma to Everett, are concerned. They're concerned that if they don't follow the party line, at least put out a Facebook message, maybe do some keyboard warrior comments, that it impacts them in their job. It impacts their kids in their school. I mean, this is deep.
Yeah.
It is super deep.
It's very deep, and I'm going to add on to what Lori said here as I explain how Kevin's point was. I'm not saying Kevin is wrong. I'm saying Kevin's point that he was making.
Paul, are you trying to talk me out of putting out later? Go ahead, Tom.
Hang on just a second,
Go
because I've got to
make your point,
respond to that.
Go ahead.
So what Lori was just talking about, I think, is very different from, my example. My example is someone who is, retirement age, is not politically active. They're not social media people.
No, they're not.
And I think there's a big chunk of people that are in their, mid 70s and up, right? That still trust the nightly news, that still hold, the old Democrat Party values.
Yeah.
They just don't understand that the Democrat Party of today
is
not what they're voting for.
Right.
And the Democrat Party of today is not going to come out and say, we're taking your vote and doing something different with it.
Yeah.
They're not. So we've got these old Democrats that have reasonable values that are supporting a system that's leaving them behind.
Fair enough. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Before Paul tells me where I'm wrong, I'm just going to sum up my argument just really succinctly. I thought of the best way to sum it up. It is the difference between being a woman who's married to a man that's having an affair and you stay with him and you don't know. That's uneducated. He's cheating. You don't know. How would you know, right? Why would you need to make a change? You don't know. I'm arguing that this is a situation where the woman is married to the man and he's cheating and she knows it and she chooses to stick with him anyway, right? That's what the state is doing. The state is cheating and the voters are basically allowing it to continue because they don't know what the other side of that looks like.
But we don't have enough educated vote. We don't have enough voters, period. So I think your argument's missing the fact that we don't have enough active participating voters to support that idea.
Well, I think your argument's missing the fact, so I'm going to stomp my feet and cry about it. Paul, what do you have?
Good Lord.
I love you, Tom.
So I'm going to try to draw the best parallel between you initially, what you initially said. I would say it's more like this. You're talking about people and voting, and when we talk about not knowing and understanding the issues versus what's put out to them by the legacy media here that's local to Puget Sound and stuff like that, right? They don't. Any local channel does a news report on a story, on a bill or whatever, right? They're lucky if they put 15 to 20% of the issue out, right? These issues are much bigger, and they'll go online and say, well, this the attorney general is suing Donald Trump again. Yay! That's the fucking story,
That
right?
is-
And
yes.
there's no additional information about that. So my point to you, Kevin, is when we talk about an uneducated electorate, and you're talking about how, well, they pay their bills, therefore they're educated because they know what their bills are. Let me explain it to you another way. It's like they go to the grocery store. To your point, they get their bill when they go to check out, and that's what they pay, but they don't know shit about what went into those products and what was made and how those products are made or how they were shipped or anything else, right? All they know is what their groceries cost them.
Right. There's no common sense
that's
in
right.
the fact that
there's no knowledge about what
diesel fuel is taxed at whatever, and diesel fuel is how your milk gets from the warehouse to the grocery store. They're not doing one plus one is two.
We have been doing this so long, and we still don't know how all the shit works. 26 years we've been sitting here doing this, and I still can say with confidence, I don't know how a lot of this stuff works.
I would just tell you guys that being educated is actually an indicator of voting.
Okay, that's an interesting point.
It is.
Yeah.
And being older as well, because you do
What
pay
the
more
hell? You had to
attention.
go from understanding what you were talking about to talking about being older.
Sorry.
Yeah, but she's not wrong. I mean, and statistics back it up.
Yeah, well, you'll be my age in a couple of years.
Yeah, funny man. I'm talking decades removed from us, right? I mean, right now, I would say our most active voters in Washington State are probably baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with you.
And
I
those
think that's
baby
great.
boomers still trust legacy media because that's how they came up. They remember a time before TVs were TVs.
But
They
what do you think-
used to listen to
can
the
we
radio.
all
But wouldn't you
acknowledge-
think baby boomers would be predominantly voting conservative based off of their age group, though? Their age
No,
group?
No, I don't think so.
state.
Okay.
Because
Not
the
this state.
Democratic part, remember the statistics in Washington State, baby boomers came from a large, well, I don't say baby boomers as a whole, but in Washington State, there was a larger percentage of baby boomers were Democrats.
Mhm.
But again, I think it goes back to the point, unfortunately, that Donald Trump made back in his 2016 run, which was that media is the enemy of the American
That's
people.
exactly what's happening.
And
I think-
they prove him right so much it ain't even funny. You know?
and then to contribute to the divisiveness that we're dealing with, people go in and blame legacy media for supporting the Democrat Party, when really I think legacy media is just doing what they're going to do to give them the best bottom line for their advertising dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, alarmist, whatever. It's like, oh, Orange Man bad. Hey, that's a
Yeah.
great way to get people scared, get them to tune in, drive up our advertising.
I disagree with you completely, and I'll tell you why.
So let me add one thing here, Kevin, to a comment that was just made in the
Okay.
chat. Mike brought up he would like the pamphlets, for example, because he gets a lot of his information from the voters' pamphlets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mike, that's part of the problem, and it's something many in the state have been fighting against for a while.
The
because
candidate
we
writes their own.
Not on the issues. I'm talking about the
not
issues.
on the issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have an
Okay.
attorney general's office whose job it is to, or somebody that's in that office. I forget who specifically, and we've seen it with regards to certain initiatives over the last few years where they've intentionally vaguely described the initiative so that people wouldn't understand what the hell they were
Or
voting
they
for.
wrote it so convoluted and backwards that you
Yes.
ended up voting no when
And I
you meant to
promise you
vote
that's,
yes.
it is on purpose.
Yeah, that was
100%.
what the natural gas initiative.
Yeah.
What were the other ones around that where we all got screwed? Natural gas.
A great
parental
one
bill
to
of
remember
rights.
is during the COVID time, right
And-
before COVID, when Jay Inslee had that whatever. Well, I forget exactly if it was a bill through the Democrats or whatever, but we got to vote on it, and what it did was it gave the governor emergency powers, basically let him to become a mini dictator if he
Right.
declared declared a statewide emergency, which was a second damn thing he did when COVID, creeped up on everybody.
Yeah.
So literally, the voters gave the governor of the state of Washington dictatorial powers in the event of an emergency. If people had understood that, there was no way they would have done that.
And this is important, right? Because Beeler has always said to me, dictator's bad, tater dick's good. Listen, Tom, I want to disagree with what you said.
The fuck is a tater dick?
What the hell?
And why would you even know that?
Because she said it to me.
I have
Listen.
never said that in my life.
It's on your license plate. It's on the flame around your license plate.
Paul,
Dictator's bad, tater dick's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, it's
But
a
hold on.
lumpy elephant man dick.
Yeah.
Right. Well, whoever left
think
this
about-
barbecue
think
chicken
about
in
how-
front of me is
Think about how
devil.
short and wide a potato is. Okay. So listen, Tom,
Well,
here's
in
what
Kevin's
here's
case,
why
it
you're
was,
wrong.
tater tots
You
made out of little
said
tiny potatoes.
You said, correct me if I'm wrong. You said the Democrats, the left-leaning media, is not really doing this because they have an agenda. They're just looking at their bottom line, and this
Yeah.
gives them. Okay, here's where you're wrong.
Okay.
Because I guarantee you, if when Joe Biden was going through his mental retardation, lack of cognition, losing his damn mind every day,
Thursday.
Right.
if they had treated him the same way they've gone after Trump, every day, every news cycle, every hour, here's what Joe Biden is doing, here's the cognitive concerns, here's the 25th Amendment. If they had beaten him like they beat Trump, their ratings would have gone through the roof because people be concerned about the president.
Fox did.
No, but hold on. Fox is not left-leaning media.
No,
Fox is right-leaning
media.
But
yes.
CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC,
Yep.
all those
Yep.
other outlets,
Yep.
they downplayed it and they ignored it
Yes.
because they have an agenda.
Yes.
They're not worried about their bottom line. Their bottom line would have gotten much more bottom line if they had put Joe Biden under a magnifying glass and scared people to death.
I think the left-leaning media was looking at the long game at that point, because their long game has been, we're aligned with these politicians, these people in power. They picked a side, right?
I agree with that.
And so did Fox. But after that, they do everything they can to create that division, that alarm, that, oh no, I got to tune in.
Yeah, they picked
So
a target demographic and
Right.
then played to that
and then-
demographic for money.
and they're playing the long game.
But here's what the left does. Here's what the media does. When they put Kristi Noem in her position, they roasted Trump for doing it.
Right.
When she did her job, they roasted her for doing her job.
Right.
She was horrible. She was awful. Blah blah blah. The minute Trump fired her, it got sold to media. Donald Trump fired one of his few women heads of departments.
Right.
And it went from Kristi Noem was a bad choice to Kristi Noem was awful to poor victim Kristi Noem and being a victim of poor big bad Trump.
Well, I haven't seen anybody calling her a victim.
This is nothing but agenda driven politics.
Yes.
The Democrat Party they don't even have their hands in the pockets of the media. They are literally doing a crotch grab to the media.
Right.
And everything that they can feed to the media and drive the media to do for them so they don't have to do it.
Right. And the media is going to eat it up because they know that drives revenue.
I'm getting
It
some really
drives
good analogies
advertising
tonight.
dollars.
Well, and
really good
to Kevin's
analogies.
point about Kristi Noem being fired, it's important to understand why she was fired, and she was asked directly at the congressional hearing about the money that she spent on the ad campaign, and she got busted lying about it. That's why Trump fired her, because she stated under oath that Trump gave her permission to spend the money, and it was her friend's company that was only 8 days old that she hired to do the whole situation. She was lying about it. She got caught.
That's just your typical good old boys club.
I don't disagree, but that's why she got fired. So when people are like, oh, Trump shouldn't have fired her, she was like, no, she fucked up.
Yeah. So going back to someone poking at me about the difference between libertarians and Democrats and Republicans, that's a prime example. Yeah.
You think libertarians would be immune from the good old boy system? Because I don't think anybody is.
To start with, yes, because anything that's going to be new is going to come out and stay close to principle. But of course, it's going to change over time. Yeah, I mean, life is about evolution. Things don't go unchanged. Everything changes.
Life is a highway.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride it all day long.
All night
All
long.
night long.
Yeah.
If you're going my way.
Yeah. but I mean, really, yes. So, I mean, do I think the Libertarian Party would fix things right now? Yes. Would it be different in 15 years? Definitely. Yes.
Well,
yeah, because life is about change.
I'll tell you right now, I hope the things change in the state. There will not be a Washington in 15 years. You look at, you know what Washington reminds me of right now? Detroit. When Detroit saw
Sure.
major changes in their laws and their governing powers,
Yeah,
and
when manufacturing was exported.
when manufacturing was exported and left and ripped all their facilities out and left nothing but abandoned bones of buildings.
Yeah,
Look at what those Republicans
You can see a tiny micro example of that here with K2 skis on Vashon Island. When
Starbucks headquarters is leaving now too.
Yeah, when the manufacturing for K2 got packed up from Vashon Island and sent to China.
Oh.
Has anyone seen the old K2 facility on Vashon?
I have never been on Vashon Island a day in my life.
It's a weird place. But
I heard it's gorgeous, beautiful.
Parts of it are. But the old manufacturing stuff looks like, I mean, you could shoot like a zombie apocalypse movie on that property.
Rad.
It's all overgrown with vines and
Yeah.
trees, and it's just shells of buildings that are all busted out, and I mean, you could totally use it for a film set.
Right on.
Well, I mean, and then where the old Starbucks corporate building was at, that they, I mean,
downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not overgrown with weeds and
No,
shit yet.
no. But one of their buildings I've seen photos of. I don't know where it was, but one of their buildings, one of their big buildings, was emptied out, and now it is overgrown and
It's all vandalized.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And listen, we'll talk about this more in a little bit when we come out of the top of our break. But the direction the state is heading is a catastrophic one. Okay, so and there is no other way to explain this. It is a catastrophic direction. As you continue to increase taxes and you continue to chase out big business, there's a reason why Starbucks US is relocating.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think Starbucks International ain't going to follow them out the door, they're certainly going to. How many other is Boeing going to go? Warehouse are going to go? Why would you stay here? Why would you not go 500 miles away and reside in Idaho?
The New York Stock Exchange did. They're in Texas now.
Yeah. I mean,
why'd that happen?
And this is the state of Washington making really bad decisions. This to me is like NFL free agents.
Brother, it's not the state of Washington making bad decisions. It's
the
Democrats
voters.
in the state of Washington.
No, it's the voters.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to extrapolate that
it's
out,
the voters, man.
Look, if you want to extrapolate that out, I'm sorry, I'm not going to blame the voters.
I will.
For how the Democrats choose to run things, because you're talking about a powerful political party where you've got members of their party out there. You've got an election coming up, and you've got two guys running for sheriff, and you've got a local elected politician before anything happens telling the voters there's only one person running.
Right.
This person is your presumed new sheriff. That's the epitome of election interference, man.
Yes.
And
yes, I blame the voters for putting that state legislator in power. I blame the voters for, well, I mean, you can blame the voters for all of it. Or the lack of voters.
I don't
the
think
uneducated voter base.
I don't think it's proactive for us to point fingers at voters and say this is your fault.
Why? Maybe they'll get off their ass and get educated.
Because as a voter, yeah, they're not that educated. I get that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But as a voter, they have a reasonable expectation to believe the person they vote for is going to do the job they were elected to do.
And
which
if
means
they don't,
representing,
they should vote them out.
I don't disagree
and
with
they
that.
don't do that either. So
But you're talking about the division in our society, right? Because we've gone and that I blame the media.
Yeah,
for 100%.
Agreed.
Because again, the media is what's the word I'm looking? Hey, we've got these constituents, and
they have a massive influence.
Yeah, so we need to continue to cater to them. Let's tell them Orange Man bad. We'll go up 2 points in the ratings just for saying it.
Right, and then they get a higher ad.
So if you want to blame the voters for anything, I mean, why don't you just call it like your true libertarian mind is seeing it? They're stupid.
I just did.
See, I understand libertarians perfectly. Everybody's stupid. Everybody but you.
I mean, the vast majority are. I mean, what our voter turnout was under 40%.
It was more like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt and say 60% of our population is just plain old
lazy,
or uninformed, uninspired.
Right, but if you're going by the last, what was our presidential numbers? Because that is the most vote
in the 30s.
election.
I mean,
it was crap too.
Like
simply
34%
because
for the presidential. It's only like a 3 or 4% jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. We were at like 85 in my county in Ohio.
Yeah. Well,
that's because there's nothing in Ohio.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, Ohio sees a little bit more political activity. I mean, by the time you get to Washington, Oregon, California for the presidential election, it's been decided.
Remember,
college.
The people that are in elected positions in Washington State believe they are so safe and secure, as our felon from the North consistently said, right? She's like, I can do whatever I want in my position. My constituents will never vote me out. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's essentially what she said live on this show. That was, at least for me, because it's up until that point in time, I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. She came in here. She's on the opposite side of the aisle. She was willing to take questions. Okay, fine. But at that very moment, to me, the paradigm changed.
Yeah.
Because that showed that mentality.
Yeah. So, I think the problem we have is like the people that tune into our show, they're not the problem.
No.
Because they want to be educated, they want to be involved, they go out and they seek information.
Right.
It's the people who don't tune into our show or other shows.
Right.
It's the people that rely on legacy media. It's the people that aren't putting in a little bit of time to look at voter, record and the background of someone. It's that's the group that's the problem.
Yeah.
If you spend an hour a week looking into this stuff, you're more educated than 90% of the people that vote in the state.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. It's a very good point, Tom.
Oh.
Fucking somebody write that down. Tom made a good point for a long point. It wasn't just a little point. It was a big point. He kept going.
All right.
Way to go, Tom.
Let's take a break.
I told
top
you,
of the hour.
Kevin, no matter what you say, I told you Tom could learn how to do this radio stuff. Oh, wow.
I know. If you remember when we brought Tom on back in the day, Paul, I said, maybe we should have Tom be a part of the show. And your exact response was, that loser
I said,
doesn't
no
know
way, you can't
politics."
complete a sentence.
Yeah, that loser doesn't know politics. Take a break. We come
Love you,
back.
Tom.
More of the
Love you,
show,
Tom.
including a developing situation in the Middle East, Donald Trump picking fights with everybody, and more. Stick around. It's the Outlaw Radio Network at outlawradionetwork.com.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I
Paul,
have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Outlaw Radio Network.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, proudly supporting our veterans in the Bremerton community. Visit them online at destinationhighway420.com. 21 and over.
Cannabis has intoxicating effects and may be habit forming. Keep out of the reach of children.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from, and how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with the click of a button. It may seem harmless. Maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Listen, before buying pills from social media,
All right, we should be good now. We should be good now.
Well, somebody
Tom,
say
would you
something
check
smart.
it?
Can you hear us?
I am. Someone say something smart.
Well, it's going to
Hi,
take a second because there's a
I'm
delay.
Paul. I'm an alcoholic.
There we are.
Say something smart.
We're back. All right. So, by the way, that was the big news we had. We appreciate it. This is going to shake the foundations for the world. That appearance on this show coming up soon is going to completely knock your socks off.
Yeah.
And yeah, so congratulations if you heard the announcement. If you didn't, well, fix your
Stay tuned.
fix your internet, you doofuses. All right. No, sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but we fixed it. All right. Well, I fixed it. I'd like some cookies. So listen,
Gold star, Kevin.
I want to talk about the whole Trump thing really quick. And I feel like there's like 80,000 different angles that we can take here. So I'm gonna give a couple different angles, and then you guys decide what we're gonna talk about. Obviously, things in Iran have continued along their merry way. Khomeini's son has been now named the new like supreme ruler of Iran, which to me is like
I got to look that up because I thought that they've decided who they want it to be, but they're not released. The
Yeah, and then right after that, it was his son that was.
Yeah, it's his son. And listen, the big deal with that is it's just who's next on the top of the hit list, right? So we can talk about that. We can talk about the fact that Iran came out on Friday and said, we're not going to hit our neighbors anymore. We're really sorry. And then they continue to hit their neighbors. We talk about that. Trump, meanwhile, is making noises about Cuba and them having a regime change in Cuba. Something about him sending Marco Rubio down there. So I think there's a really good question about how many fights Donald Trump wants to pick at one time.
It's
like you know,
time to allow Cuba to like join the rest of the industrialized world.
Well, and again,
Fidel Castro's gone.
We can talk about Cuba specifically if you want, but I guess I'm just asking. Like, Trump's got so much going on, right? So Venezuela, we're not even talking about Venezuela now, but I don't know what the deal is in Venezuela.
Their inflation rate hit 475%.
Yeah, I mean, Venezuela is going to give us all of their oil reserves, and their problems will go away.
Where's the battery, the cable for this?
The box.
Oh, yeah, it's in the tote.
Well, this is about to die, so you guys keep talking.
Okay.
Well, we can keep talking, but if that computer dies, no one's going to hear us.
Right. Exactly.
Agreed.
Oops. Well, it's good to deplete your laptop battery every once in a while.
It really is. It's good
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
John said we'll rename it Marco Cubio.
Now that's funny.
That is funny.
That
I like
is
the
funny.
memes of
Beavis and
buddy.
Butthead is wonderful.
So we meet again.
All right, turn the feed back up. Just let me know when you get it back.
Got nothing right now.
Give it a second.
There it is.
There we go. All right, we're back. I think what happened was because the box was unplugged, because the power wasn't on, it started, driving.
It had a stomach ache.
So we apologize. Dennis, could you play that one more time since the listeners at home didn't get to hear it? Please. That'd be great. Thank you.
I am drawn to them, as if by a power greater than my wiener.
All right, back to the conversation. Corey's like, get this crap together, Kevin. It's not my fault. I wasn't.
It's totally Kevin's fault.
It was not my fault. But listen, seriously though, where do you guys want to go on the Trump conversation? Because there's 18,000 places to go. I'd like to ask the question: how many more international fisticuffs does Donald Trump want to start? Venezuela, Iran. Now he's talking about Cuba. Like, but Lori,
follow the money. What's going on with the money?
I agree the money is a big deal. Okay.
No. What type of money?
Explain.
All of these countries that you're bringing up and some others are not on digital currency.
Okay.
We need to have regime change if you want digital currency.
We don't want digital currency.
No, I know we don't. I don't, but I'm just saying from the top levels in the world, Klaus Schwab and Davos, those groups, the elites, they want regime change because they want digital currency.
Okay, so you're going kind of a Bilderberger kind of overview of world events then. That
because they want
puppeteers
digital currency so that you have your 15-minute city and then Agenda 2030 comes into effect. And what countries stand in your way right now? Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, Iraq. I believe, I believe Argentina, Turkey, and a couple others.
Argentina's gone libertarian.
Tom talking to Mike.
I was just saying Argentina's on that list, and they've gone libertarian.
Yeah.
And have you seen what has happened with their economy since they did?
I know.
They've exploded.
I don't pay attention to.
Yeah, Argentina is doing awesome.
Okay, wait.
Go ahead, Beals.
talking about economics.
Deregulated, free market. People that are succeeding in the free market are succeeding in the free market because there's no government fingers in their back pocket or steering them in any particular direction.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just wanted you
I
to
don't-
expand, and I was trying to get the words, but then you started.
Okay.
I don't know if I agree that digital currency is driving forward. I'm not going to say Lori's wrong because Lori has a different outlook on this. I'm not one who subscribes. Well, I'm just not one who subscribes to the whole global conspiracy
Oh
idea
God,
of things.
I do.
And
That
the
shit
reason
is real.
And here the reason I don't is because we haven't seen it play out like this before. Like the issues with hold on, let me explain.
Seriously.
The issues with digital currency is an ongoing issue, but we haven't seen a president pick multiple fights in multiple different regions all at the same time.
He only has 4 years, and he's like down to 3 now. What
I
do
know.
you want him to do?
But that's why I think it's a Trump thing, not necessarily a Bilderberger over, because then any president would be at risk of pulling that move. Any leader would be at risk of pulling that move. I think this is completely a Donald Trump move. This is completely Donald Trump wanting to be an architect, wanting to develop a legacy, wanting to be known for changing the world stage, wanting to be known for being a deal maker and a deal breaker. Like, I think this is 100% Trump's ego. Good or bad, you can argue. I'm not arguing if it's good or bad. But I think he's picking all these fights because, as you said, Beals, he got 3 years left. And he knows in those 3 years, if he wants a legacy, he's got to do it now. So he's dealing with Iran. He's dealing with Venezuela. He's now threatening with Cuba. What else is next? I would argue North Korea's got to be on the list.
Russia, China.
I don't think Russia or China are on the list because they're formidable opponents.
Okay.
That he can't shape them in any way in 2.5, 3 years.
The other countries.
No, they've got economic systems that are too big to be dealt with in that short a period of time.
And they can stand up to us.
I'm not saying he's going to go after them. I'm saying that they are. Why did that word just go out of my head? Sometimes I hate my brain.
Oh, I'm
They
not
are
sure what words you were looking
They're
for.
allies to Iran.
Well, they're part of BRICS.
BRICS, yeah.
Yeah, BRICS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
I just
expanding a little bit.
Yeah,
guys.
I just feel
Here's
like
the
this
list of
is
countries.
Go ahead.
The list of countries without digital currency: China, Algeria,
Okay.
Bangladesh, Bolivia, Egypt, Iraq, Nepal, Qatar, and Tunisia.
Qatar doesn't have digital currency.
Correct.
That surprises me
Correct.
because they're pretty significant
Why
Middle
would
Eastern.
they need to?
Because they have a significant Middle Eastern economy and they have a large amount of tourists.
Yeah, but think about it, Kevin. They have real wealth.
No, I know.
They have real wealth. They have real gold
Yeah, no, I agree with
behind
you.
their currency.
But
so
they're
they don't need to go digital.
if they want to have significant tourism and foreign dollars flow into there. I mean, most of the countries you named are third world nations.
Yeah.
That have struggling economies. Read them off again.
Is China,
Okay, China might as well be a third world nation, even though they're a first world military power. Go ahead.
Algeria,
Third world nation.
Bangladesh,
Third, like ninth world nation.
Bolivia.
That nation is so broke, I have a better credit score. Bolivia, third world nation.
Egypt,
second world nation.
Iraq,
Third world nation.
Nepal,
Third world nation.
Qatar,
First world nation.
and Tunisia.
Third world nation.
Iran was also on the list. So is Cuba, but they're not showing up under this particular one.
Yeah, and China. I mean, China is not a third world nation economically. I mean, we have shipped all of our manufacturing.
They're not, but they're a third world nation. How their people are treated when it comes to the rights and abilities of their people, for the purpose of digital currency.
Right,
it's a third world nation.
But the conversation about first world, third world kind of stuff, I mean, that's based in economics, and China is not economically third world.
Okay, I'll get into that.
You know, socially, their people are oppressed, but they're not third world.
No, they're a first world economic and military power,
and technologically.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, I mean,
but most of the other ones are third world, right? And I think that's really important. Right? We're not going to invade Bolivia. We're not going to invade Tunisia or Azerbaijan or whatever other.
There's no money in those places,
right? So I don't think this is a digital currency thing. I think this is Donald Trump. Literally, I believe this is Donald Trump setting up his legacy. As they said in Hamilton, what is a legacy? A legacy is planting seeds in a garden that you never get to see. Right? Donald Trump wants to see his legacy. He wants to see the fingerprint he's going to leave on this nation before he leaves that White House. And this is his way to do it. How does he do it? He gets us, deals with Venezuela. He deals with Mexico and the amount of issues with drugs coming across the border. Sure. He deals with Cuba. He deals with Iran, which has been a thorn on our side ever since 1979, right? He's going to deal with North Korea next and the risk of them having a nuke, right? And I think this is all ego-driven, good or bad. You can argue it, but this is all Trump feeling like I'm the only guy that can get this done. And at some level, he very well may be, because when he leaves the office, he's going to leave it to somebody else, Democrat or Republican, who's a politician. And we've seen what politicians have given us, which is no action. Sit on your hands, not really pass anything, don't really do anything, push the can down the road. And Trump's theory is, I'm not pushing no more cans down the road. I'm going to make something happen, right or wrong.
Okay, but if he's building his legacy, he's only building for himself. Midterms are happening. He's got 6 months and he potentially is screwing over
absolutely
the midterms.
Yeah.
And not only that, but with that, if the House or the Senate changes, he's screwing over the rest of his legacy as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say next is, you know, and you brought it up. I was about to do that too. He's got a finite amount of time before midterms.
Yeah.
And his poll numbers aren't great. They never have been.
No.
And take from a poll what you want to take from a poll. His poll numbers are not great. They never have been. Traditionally, when there is a one party that has all three segments, right? The House, the Senate, and the White House, at the next midterms, traditionally in that country that switches over, one of those goes away, right? So there's that. I thought things like the murder of Charlie Kirk would have an impact. I don't think it's going to. I think for conservatives it matters, but for the average American who's on the fringe about their political structure, Charlie Kirk's a forgotten icon now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Charlie Kirk's assassination had happened in July before the election, that probably would have had a big deal. But I think now the American attention span is that of a gnat.
Yeah.
And he's not even going to enter the vernacular. Tom?
It's not a big deal to bring it up in political commercials and remind the country. I mean, it's new enough people remember. You just have to dust the cobwebs off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA become a punchline now for the left.
Oh, sure.
They go back to the halftime show.
It's part of all the division that neither party is going to fix the division that we have right now.
Yeah.
No. people, we as humans have to bridge that gap. We're not going to be able to ever do it through politics because it's so divisive. But if we come together as humans, supporting other humans,
we're past that now.
No, we have to. We cannot lose that
disagree.
hope, Tom. We cannot.
I haven't lost that hope. I mean, I'm involved in the community enough around here with things with my business or whatever that we're not that far gone, but we're going to be really soon, especially if we keep plugging our faces into the same news source. That is continuing to divide us in the sake of getting more advertising dollars.
Yeah, look, I firmly believe with where you're at, Tom, which is it's going to take a major seismic shift in this country to make people care.
Yep.
The last time we cared as a nation was on September 12th.
Yep.
We cared as a nation. We rallied together. We hugged each other. We embraced each other. We put political division aside for about 30 days.
Yep.
We loved each other. We talked nice about each other. We supported each other. And then that went out the window.
And we lost a lot of our rights, our freedoms.
We sure did.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And so, but that was the last time that this country even attempted to come together. Now there was a little bit of that with Charlie Kirk, a little bit, but
not enough.
Yeah, and before that, when was it? It wasn't Vietnam.
Nope.
It wasn't Korea.
No, maybe World War II.
Maybe the assassination of JFK for 24 hours. Maybe, I don't know.
JFK, MLK.
Again, maybe, but I mean, those were even. I mean, I wasn't there, but everything I've read, those were even polarizing.
Yeah, Tegan said, "Oh, we're screwed. It's going to take every person that votes to get 10 friends and family members to vote. Just turn in the damn ballots. Have your friends and families fill out their ballots, seal it, sign it, and turn it in for them." Tegan, is that legal?
No, it's not.
That's considered ballot harvesting. You're not allowed to do that.
I thought ballot harvesting was allowed now in Washington.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I think it
I
is.
didn't think it was.
I know harvesting organs is
I
not
didn't
legal.
think it was legal unless it was somebody like a spouse.
That was
or a
immediate
child
family.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm going to go drop my ballot. You want me to take yours
Yeah.
too? Yeah.
No, I think it is now.
Okay.
But I think it's-
Republicans were talking about.
Tegan says it is allowed in Washington State. She's really plugged in.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely, she is.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
here's what I would say.
That was not legal in Ohio. I just want to.
Yeah.
She has a great point. Here's what I would say. We each get 10 of our people, and we all go to the ballot box together. We all
Challenge it
go
further.
to cast our ballots together, and you rally it and you organize it and you drag people out with you and you do it together. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You just go vote.
We could all drive together to the ballot box.
Let's do it.
Line of cars.
Or even better, take your summer, go spend the weekend over in Eastern Washington and say, "Hey, I'm from Western Washington. I really need your help.
Yeah.
I really need your help. I need your help.
Yes.
Please tell me that you can vote. Go to whatever town. I'm going to pick on Moses Lake because I have friends there. Go to wherever the breakfast spot is on Saturday morning and be like, "Hey, I'm an outcast here. I'm from Western Washington. I need your help.
Yeah.
There's so many of us that need your help. We need you to vote."
Reminds me of
Well,
that.
it's not that
Reminds me of the Pace Picante commercial where they're in the diner and the dude's like, "Where'd you get your salsa? New York City." Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Get a
Beals.
rope.
Sorry. Get a rope.
Yeah.
God, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry, Beals.
You always do that to me.
I
No,
just
but
I
I
know
other
men
things
that
I
a
do
woman is
with it.
attractive to, they tend to have that kind of.
I honestly,
I'm just kidding.
I think
I'm just
Lori's
kidding.
right.
I'm
I mean,
totally kidding. Love you.
I'll,
We're good.
I'll throw it out.
She's
right
gonna hit
now.
me again.
I'll throw it out right now on the air. I think we as Outlaw should have a get out and vote event.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care who you vote for. You're not going to do it right the first time, but right now you're not voting at all. And voting wrong is better than not voting at all.
Where can we go cast our ballot in person in this county?
At the auditor's office.
Yeah,
courthouse.
So why don't we do this for the? Why don't we do this?
Every election I go there.
Why don't we do this for the November election? And I know this is a long ways off, and I'll take the day off of work for it.
August.
No,
7 months away. It's not that far.
Primary. Yeah, let's do the
I
general.
think
we gotta
no.
We gotta do the primary.
You gotta do all of it.
Okay,
You
fine.
have
Let's
to
do it for the
whole
primary.
thing.
We'll do it for the primary day. We'll organize. I'll come up with a flyer or something we can share on our pages or whatever. We will all meet together somewhere.
Yep, and we're going to go vote.
We will all meet
go live.
We'll all meet at maybe right here at Black Ring Spirits or something. We'll figure out a spot.
Yeah.
We'll meet together with any of our outlaw peeps that want to come with us. And together we will all go in unison and we will all go cast our votes together. We're not all voting for the same people. We're not all voting for the same platform.
Except County.
Well, you're an outlier then.
I'm an outlaw.
Are you in Pierce?
No, I'm in Mason.
Oh, you're in Mason? Okay. Well, then F you, Paul.
No, we
love
do
you
it
too.
in Mason too. Then
yeah,
and then we show up and support Paul, and we get people to go out in Mason too.
Well, no, Mason is Shelton. That's a long drive. I got the hiccups. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my mouth closed.
Is it in Shelton?
Shelton.
Where you have to
for in person.
That's where the courthouse is at.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's
So
county
let's do it. And maybe we can inspire other people to do the exact same thing. And you get people together, you hold your friends accountable, and you say, this is what we're going to do.
I would suggest we set up a booth, maybe broadcast live for an hour at a place like Safeway.
Yeah.
And we register people to vote.
Safeway won't let us.
Could we do that?
I know the
We can't register
Do you?
the people.
Yeah.
We can't register people to vote.
No,
you do
but
that
we
when you
can-
get your license and ID. It's a motor voter state.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
also can
But we can encourage people to
have
register
like
if
a
they haven't.
little, what is it? Tablet.
I don't know if we
and
can,
we can
but
have them, check that they're
Yeah,
legally
check that
registered.
that's a good idea.
They can
Yeah.
check if they're registered in this county. If they need to update, we can let them do that.
And I was just suggesting a place like Safeway. I mean, it could be anywhere high profile. We
John
could go to
said
the
we
ferry
should-
terminal.
Yeah, John said we should get Scott Pressler on the show. I'm not sure
Yes, we should.
Who's Scott Pressler?
Scott Pressler is a
long-haired
young
hippie
man.
dude.
Yeah, but
He's cool.
He
He's
is great.
he's smart.
He's the initiative guy, right?
Yes.
Huh?
He came
Yeah.
to Washington to help with
Yeah.
the initiative.
So hold on. Here's why I wouldn't want to get Scott Pressler for
I think Brian Haywood brought him here.
because he collects signatures from the conservative side, right? And I don't have an issue with that. But what
We're
but
doing
what we're trying to do is everybody, not just Republicans. Now, again,
Well, no,
I'd like
they
to see
said
more
we should have him on the
Republicans.
show,
the
not
vote out.
on the show. Okay.
They
Oh,
got the
sorry.
vote
Yeah.
out in Pennsylvania because they were having the same apathy.
We might be able to ask him for because he was here working
Yeah,
on Get
he
Out
was.
the Vote.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he would have some really good ideas to help with that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got the hiccups, guys.
And
I
let
don't
me
know where they come
let
from.
me I can reach
Proof
out
God has a
to
sense of
we
humor.
got a lot of local context, right? I can reach out to Greg Wheeler and see if the city would have an issue if we set up somewhere on city property.
Yeah, I want to ask
just-
him if he's still guilty of 18 USC 111.
which is what
We're trying to get him to
I
cooperate
know,
with us.
I know.
Not the best idea.
I know. It was a joke, Professor.
What is 18 USC 111?
That's where you deliberately interfere with immigration.
Oh, because of the ICE stuff.
Well, yeah, because they're, look what the mayor of Seattle's doing.
Well,
For
they don't have a
fuck's
choice
sake.
though. But they don't have a
Look
choice.
at what the mayor's
No,
doing.
she's literally putting up signs, making it. She posted some new statute that she created for the city of Seattle,
Yeah.
making it illegal to arrest immigrants in public parks and anywhere that's city-owned property.
Well, hey, I mean, she had a big protest. Right after she came in office about Starbucks, and now look what's happening. So,
Yeah, boy,
mean,
bright
she-
girl, way to go, Seattle.
Yeah.
You
Here's
took your
what-
shithole of a city and turned it into a bigger shithole.
Right.
There's going to be a day that I ride that passenger ferry from Southworth into Seattle to go to work. There's going to be a day that as I'm riding that I'm watching the city burn as I pull in.
It
Yeah.
might be. Man. It might happen sooner
Well,
rather
and
than
Kevin,
later.
if it's Monday through Wednesday, call me, text me, and
It'll be a
I'll pick you
Tuesday.
up.
Lori, like I'm skipping work
You guys,
today.
Speaking of events and
Mhm.
burning, Destination Highway 420 is
Yeah.
having their
Yes,
first
tell us.
event
Tell us.
on 4/18.
Okay.
It's going to start at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Ooh.
And we need some of us to be there, right?
So
I have enough
is
notice
that-
that
We're
I
going to
can.
be there live.
Is
I need to
that,
be there.
Wait a minute.
Invitation only, or is that?
Did you say 418?
4/18.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
April
and that's
18th.
Yeah, that's also
Saturday.
WrestleMania Saturday. Like,
Well,
Well, we
I
can
love
go to
those guys,
WrestleMania
but-
late. We can be there in the morning.
you can't be. I can't be. I'm gonna. People,
Well, I know you're.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. Your dedication is almost there, dude. You've been here a long time.
it's okay.
I'm kidding,
Me-
Kevin.
Me and
I'm just
Tom
kidding.
and Dennis are going to handle it.
There you go.
and then you come to
anyways.
my place afterwards.
Yeah,
Yes.
so if you stop by Destination Highway 420 and buy your bud, you get an invite. You come in. They're going to have all different kinds of
Yeah, I will
benefits there.
definitely come down for that, you guys. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
will be raffles for prizes. There's gonna.
What time did you say that starts?
It starts at 10.
Perfect.
And I
in the
do
morning.
believe
Maybe I'll come down for the beginning of that.
Yeah, I do believe one Ms. Beeler is going to be judging some stuff,
I
aren't you?
will.
Yeah, you did
yeah.
the bikini contest, right?
Fuck no,
No, you're judging the bikini
I
contest.
am not. No, I'm
I didn't
not.
ask you to wear a bikini.
God, Beeler, I would pay big money to see you in a bikini.
Speedo. There you go. Speedo. I'll wear my Speedo.
Thong, 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 thong.
I have a well-formulated beer keg that protects all the tools and equipment from rain.
Anyways, Miss Beeler.
Anyways,
what are you judging?
So we will be judging different flowers from different companies on the taste, texture.
By the third one, she'll
like
be
the look of it,
swimming backstrokes.
So
Yeah.
And I'm not a marijuana connoisseur or anything.
So you'll be going off of specifically the taste
The
and stuff. So you'll probably give a more honest answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. I
Nice.
dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
You gonna do it too, Tom?
No.
Tom's like, I gotta drive, man.
Yeah, no. I'll be fine for that. No, I mean they asked Alicia to come in and judge. I'm gonna go out and help MC and
I actually
Yeah.
tried to say I think Tom or Dennis would be better because they
Have more experience.
Yeah, they have more experience with it.
But their own bias might creep in. I think you were a good choice.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
and actually I agree with that statement, Paul.
Yeah. Really?
I mean, yeah,
I was just
do.
blowing smoke, hoping to make her feel better. So she wouldn't hit me
Yeah,
again.
no. Hey, I have a bias. I've got my favorites. I mean, it's like anyone who has a favorite whiskey.
How
or
do
a
you
favorite
how do
vodka
you
or whatever.
judge the like? Are you actually gonna eat a petal off the flower or something?
No, you smoke it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on private property.
Yeah, but then
Okay.
it's got its own flavor profile
Okay.
and all the rest.
I don't
of
have taste buds. I would not be good at that. I'd be like, it's just
Well,
smoke.
when you say flavor, it's more of a fragrance than it really is a flavor.
Okay.
But it comes across as
So I also hear there might be some like zoo animals there to pet and stuff.
What?
Petting zoo.
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of potheads I would put in that category.
All out for this. So
Okay.
it's gonna
Hey,
be a good
Beeler.
day.
Your name's Mike. Good boy,
I got something
Mike.
you can pet.
He's drooling.
okay.
He's doing good. Just like my dog when he wants that treat.
My dog that he's gone over the Rainbow Bridge now.
Yeah.
But he used to be terrified of fireworks.
Oh, I think a lot of dogs are.
Yeah. So I would get him, I would get a bag of, edibles, like,
Yes.
gummy bears and give him half.
Yeah.
5 milligrams of THC. Man, he went to sleep and did not give a shit.
Dude, one of my
about the
puppy
fireworks.
cattle dogs, I used RSO oil for my restless leg syndrome.
Yeah.
And I didn't think twice about it. I left it sitting right next to my bed because every night before I go to bed, I'd have to take some of that RSO oil.
Yeah.
And that damn little red healer, man, she got right into that. I come home one day, she's out in the living room, and she's like,
snoring.
oh, God, she was gone. Well, yeah, but I was all worried because I was like, oh, my God, what'd this do to my dog? I was worried about her health.
It doesn't hurt him.
And, what I have read is that too much THC is not a good thing for your dog.
Well,
5,
right.
that's okay.
Yeah. And
But
he weighed 100
50,
pounds.
not so much.
No, 50 is
Yeah.
a little robust.
Yeah.
Mike says he wants to see Tom in a Speedo and his Christmas sweater.
Oh, Mike, that's so fuck off. I don't want to see him in that Christmas sweater. It is traumatic, dude.
Hey, back to some new stuff. This is out of Fox's. I want to read this to you guys.
Yeah.
Iranian American journalist Mishi, whatever their name is urging the Australian government to protect members of Iran's women's national soccer team after she said the players were labeled wartime traitors and flashed what she described as an SOS hand signal while returning to Iran. The journalist said the team refused to sing Iran's national anthem following the reported killing of Ali Khamenei, a move that she framed as a public act of defiance against the regime.
Like, you could call it an act of defiance.
said,
I'd call
quote,
it an act of war.
She said, quote, "Hello, Australia. This is your moment. We need your support." Iran's women's football team refused to sing the national anthem after the killing of Ali Khamenei. State TV called them wartime traitors. Now they're on a bus back to Iran, flashing the SOS hand
Yeah, I
signal
would
through
not
the-
be getting on that bus.
flashing the SOS hand signal through the window. I call on the Australian government. Don't send them back to danger. Please give them protection. First of all, they're not on a bus back to Iran from Australia. Let's just, let's just.
I don't know. If you ask AOC, she might say they are.
True.
So
listen, what can I just? I'm going to say this, and it's a little bit hypocritical of us to not. Well, here's the thing, right? Because we live in a country where we had one of our greatest female soccer stars, Megan Rapinoe, right, come out very actively against. I know Hurl City, right? I agree.
Yeah.
But she came out and just went off after the men's hockey team went to the State of the Union address and talking about how they were this, that, and the other. I mean, we're talking some serious male hatred. But, I mean, she's a woman that wears comfortable shoes. So she's entitled to her opinion.
Wow.
Well, she's a lesbian. very
I know
openly, right?
that.
And
Is that what you meant by comfortable shoes?
yeah,
Lesbian.
they're women in comfortable shoes.
Comfortable shoes. I
Yeah.
did not know that was.
It's an
Paul
old one.
makes that assertion all the time.
Yeah, it's
Paul, I'm not a lesbian.
It's an old one.
But
I know.
wear comfortable shoes.
Lori's like, I'm gonna be specific here,
Yeah.
so there's no misinterpretation. Yeah.
I broke 2 of my toes last May. I
Ow.
have to wear comfortable
You
shoes.
shouldn't have kicked the guy while he was down.
No.
It was a joke,
I
Lori.
know,
It was a
I
joke.
know.
Do you know how she broke 2 of her toes?
Oh.
Trying to step over homeless people
No.
on her way to the office.
Are you sure it wasn't stepping over piles of shit?
No.
No, she doesn't
I
look
was
anything
in
like Tara.
Idaho at the time and got my information to go whitewater rafting, and unfortunately I was house sitting in an unfamiliar house, and I nailed my foot on a trundle bed.
That is why they tell you to watch your step.
I know.
Okay.
It was a trundle bed
Ouch.
with a wood frame.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Do you, Kevin?
Didn't go whitewater rafting.
Are you? Are
That would
you?
ruin the trip.
Hold on. Can I just really quick come back to this?
Yeah,
Iran stuff?
that was what I was going to ask you about.
I think there's a really important lesson for us to learn here.
Mm-hmm.
While the left continues to rip about how this is bad and we shouldn't be doing that and nobody supports it and Donald Trump is a dictator, what I continue to hear about is people that are from Iran.
Oh yes,
that are free to self-express. So we can't talk about the people in Iran because there's no self-expression in Iran.
30,000 plus dead.
Yeah,
over
I mean,
2 days of protests.
And,
Yeah,
and
you're
right now, the reigning Iranian government is still reigning, right?
Yeah, they're still in power.
So we can't use that as a litmus test. The litmus test we can use is groups
What are
like,
you saying?
huh?
Litmus?
Litmus.
Not litmus. It's litmus.
Litmus. Whatever. What is this?
Grammar.
Grammar 101?
I'm just trying to.
My master's is not in
I
the
mean,
English
come
language.
on.
Anyway,
we know that.
this is not the litmus test.
Damn, Lori. Lori's
The
coming
litmus
after you
test-
tonight. Like,
The
stink on
litmus
shit,
test
man.
is when you find people that are connected to Iran in a personal way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out what their thoughts are.
They're very vocal.
As we said last week, there were hundreds of cars on 405 and I-5.
If you do a
Out
TikTok
flying-
search for what you're talking about, Kevin, you'll come up with
Yeah.
hundreds of videos.
Outflying U.S. and Iranian flags on the highway in celebration of what Trump did. You have the women's soccer team. These are women from Iran that are oppressed, forced to wear their baklava, whatever those freaking
Not
things are called.
balaclavas.
Whatever.
They're not balaclavas, Kevin.
Whatever they're called. I almost call them baklava, which is a Greek dish. Whatever.
It's a hijab.
I don't know.
Hijab,
I
yes.
don't
Thank you,
care. I'm not
Tom's
going to wear
correct.
it.
Baklava is a pastry.
Baklava
Yeah.
is a delicious.
But listen,
dish.
Really just
but we have women from Iran that are part of the oppressed.
Oh,
I never
Okay.
heard baklava.
There was a woman. Where was she from? Was she from Afghanistan or Pakistan? Again, part of that really
oppressive
core form of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
She was put to death this week.
Yeah.
Because she was raped.
Yep.
And she broke an Islamic rule because she was raped. They put her to death.
Yep.
This is what we're fighting about. And the more time I spend in my head about this Iran thing, the more I still don't want boots on the ground.
Right.
But I do think you have to do something.
It's a humanitarian issue.
Yeah.
It becomes that now.
Yeah.
It's like that in India as well.
Yeah.
You're less metropolitan, cosmopolitan type cities. In there, certain provinces in India, because I had friends who sent their daughters to be missionaries over in India, and it was like, you don't go anywhere.
No, India's weird.
You don't go anywhere without somebody else with you.
Or a cow.
No.
It's a joke, Lori.
I know.
Just-
But I mean,
Cows are sacred
where
there.
they were going to be peeing and pooping in a hole
Yeah.
in the ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how remote it was.
In India
But
is-
again, if you're raped as a woman, you're put to death.
Yeah, that's
because
Islamic
you're
law.
defiled
Yeah.
and you've defiled your family.
Sharia law.
Yeah.
Well,
it
India's
does not.
Islam. India
Yeah.
is mostly Hindu.
Well,
Well,
some of
no,
it
they have a
is.
huge Muslim
They
population.
do.
I-
They do, but it's majority Hindu. And
Yeah.
You are correct. I agree.
But it's such a weird country with the very industrialized side versus the very
Yeah. Backwards.
Not a fan.
Listen, people should not lose sight of the fact that in this nation, we are in what Muslim extremists consider the second stage of their Islamic takeover. Right. The first stage is just moving there. The second, are you doing that because I use the word takeover? Huh? Oh, anyway,
Yeah.
so they consider us being in the second stage of their
I know.
takeover. Right?
I'm not going to respond to it.
Stage one.
One of us went to
Kevin.
college and got a degree. The other
Kevin.
one of us did not.
What? Sorry, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
So, to the Islamic Brotherhood,
Mhm.
the United States is in the second phase of their Islamic takeover of this country. Phase one is them moving and getting into the country.
Right.
Phase two is getting representatives of their community elected to public offices and
Correct.
beginning to form their own towns, which
And-
they're currently doing in Texas.
And Michigan.
Yeah. So
Michigan.
and people need to realize that in their mindset, listen, people, Islam's the religion of peace. It fucking ain't.
No.
And
We're the
if you want to sit here and tell me that it is, that's great. I would tell you that you're just misinformed and uneducated.
Actually, it depends on where you are in that gray area, right? Because you can say
Not to me, it doesn't.
You can say the same thing about Christianity. You've got your very peaceful Christians, and then you've got your David Koreshes of the world, or your Jim Jones of the world.
Okay, I get your your libertarian take. I'm not
That's not a
disagreeing with
libertarian
you.
take. That's an anthropologist take.
But listen, anthropologists have been wrong for a long time. Okay, they've been wrong. You can
but I
acknowledge
didn't
that.
See David Koresh going into a city council meeting and wanting to kill everybody.
Hold on, let me ask this, Paul.
Convert or die.
Would you agree, Paul, that the difference that you're talking about, though, and I think you and Tom are kind of on the same thing in a different way. The westernized version of Islam is sold as a peaceful religion.
It is sold that way.
And so for
but
most,
it's not fundamentally true.
And for most American Muslims, they are peaceful because that's how they're sold on it. Where the truth is found, though, is in the root, is in the foundation
of the
Islam.
Quran.
Well,
It specifically states in the Quran that if somebody is not a Muslim, you are free to lie to them to make them think you're there to be peaceful.
Exactly.
The very first fucking time that the United States deployed troops overseas was where? Anybody?
Yeah.
Shores of Tripoli.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the caliphates were kidnapping and killing American sailors. So I believe it was Thomas Jefferson who first had a conversation with one of their representatives in England. And he said, why are you kidnapping our people? We don't have a problem with Islam. We're not fighting you. We're not even in your countries. Why are you messing with our sailors? You know what the response was? Because you're not Muslim. So his response was, then I'm going to build a fleet and I'm going to destroy your navies. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did.
But my point is, what I was asking, though, is the problem then is not Islam per se, because in this country, if you found the average Islamic American, they're not sold to the violent nature of the core religion. Where the issue with the violence of Islam is in the leadership, the very top upper end, and the nations where it comes from, where they're tied to the fundamental history of violence within Islam. Does that make sense? And so
except that you're just not correct in your data, brother.
Okay.
I love you, and let me express this
I
to
love
you.
you too. Can we put out?
This is certain. No, he might touch me. He might touch me. Here's
So many questions.
So here's the thing. Look, if you're playing ball for the other team, just come out of the closet and acknowledge it. Lori's been on you all night about it. So here's the it's a Kevin Paul sandwich. With never mind. Leave it alone. Stop. Okay. So
Beeler would be in heaven. She'd have a Republican for all the masculinity and a Democrat so she can connect her feelings. But go ahead.
So
fill you out like an application.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Keep fucking dreaming.
Point being is that in the most recent survey, and it was like 2 years ago, over 80% of Muslims in the United States agree with violence towards their religious goals.
Oh, really?
80 freaking percent, dude.
I didn't know
We can say that the average Muslim in the United States is a moderate, yada yada yada. Except the fucking point is, though 80% of them support the use of violence to institute Islam as a religion in this country.
Dearborn Hills,
Dearborn,
Michigan.
absolutely.
I've been there.
Check out.
I can't remember the name of it. There's a city in Texas where they've done that. And
there's. I don't remember the city.
I don't
in
remember
Texas.
it either.
And then of course in Minnesota, the Smalleys are a lot of them are Islamic as well. religion.
I think it
So-
might even be most.
So
I think.
it comes down to your interpretation of Islam, right? If
Well, no,
you're-
it doesn't. That's why I stated the
no, I
the
have
numbers.
I have an example for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. So that the American, American is, American Muslims are not, Muslims worldwide, right? And maybe to some of the things you've said, maybe some of those Muslims are here with bad intentions.
Well, 80% of them are okay with the violence towards
Right.
Christians.
So I mean,
that's a huge percentage.
That's
brother.
a huge percentage of a small sect of the population.
No, 80% of Muslims.
Right. That's
in the United States.
That's a small sect.
We're
of the
talking, but we're
population.
talking millions of people.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing that.
Overrunning cities.
Right. But so when you look at Islam is, it's got this big swing. On one end, the Quran says, not one drop of wine shall you drink. Right. That's direct translation.
That's right. They drink mead.
Yeah. Not one drop of wine shall you drink, and
Shall
the
not
very,
partake of the
very-
fermentation of wine or something else. I forget.
however it's phrased. But the very conservative end of that takes that to heart. They don't drink. The very liberal end dips their finger in the glass, flicks off a drop, and says, not one drop.
So
Right.
listen, I
So-
appreciate your attempt at defending their religion. I'm not saying Muslims are bad people. I'm talking about their propensity to support violence in the name of their religion,
right?
Because their
Some of
religion
them-
teaches them,
Yes,
very
some of
matter of
them-
factly, make the world Islam.
Yep. Some of them, you're absolutely right.
Listen, there's a reason Christianity, used to have this issue. Right?
Yep.
Take up the sword, go fight the Holy Crusade.
Right.
You've got liberals in this country pointing at Pete Hegseth as a, quote, religious militant because he has Deus Vault and the Knights of Jerusalem cross tattooed on himself.
Yeah.
Right. But it means nothing. It's a freaking tattoo. Right.
Well, it
if
means something to him.
I mean,
presumably.
look at our logo. We have the Knights Templar cross. Do we
Yeah.
go out like religious zealots? No.
Right.
And nobody on this show has attempted to, even when Phil was here, nobody here attempted to convert anybody. We simply had conversations about stuff.
Right.
But to them, it is an active mission to make the United States a Muslim country. It is
to
an
some-
active mission.
To some, I will agree,
Yeah,
but
I don't know how this escapes you that 80% of that sum are willing to tacitly sit by and watch violence be committed in the name of their religion.
Because a large percentage of the progressive left is just as okay with sitting there watching violence.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, great. So I'm right.
So the problem isn't
I was
necessarily
trying, Tom. I was
religion.
trying.
The problem isn't religion. The problem is division.
No, the problem is morality.
Well, and that's part of division, right?
Well, I mean, it's a byproduct. Yeah.
Because if you have a decent moral compass, you're
You're on the right path here.
Yeah,
Keep
if
going.
you have a decent moral compass, you have no reason to hate the people around you.
Agreed.
For no reason.
Agreed.
Right? If they haven't
Agreed.
harmed you, you shouldn't be harming them. So I mean,
Islam teaches different, though, brother.
To some, yes. To some
Your point
practitioners,
is that some don't agree with it. Therefore,
Right.
you
Well,
think what?
No, I will point my finger at Christianity
Mm-hmm.
just as much as I'll point my finger at Islam.
About?
About violence and hatred and division.
But Christianity doesn't go out and commit acts of violence in the name of their faith.
I will find you a list of people that will go against what you just
So
said.
then let me be
Sure.
Let me even be a little
Join
bit more
me in
specific.
today's world.
Yeah, let me be a little bit more specific. If somebody goes out and commits an act of violence in the name of Christianity, they're immediately denounced by other Christians.
Right.
Immediately.
Right.
And what we've seen via the numbers and the interviews with members of people who practice the Islamic religion is that a vast percentage of them, many more than don't, support the violence
or they're
in the
indifferent
name
to.
of their religion.
Yep.
That's my point.
Right.
But hold on. Let me just push back on that a minute, because we just talked earlier in this hour about the response we've seen from people from a predominantly Muslim nation.
Yes.
That are
Secular as well.
that are happy with the U.S. getting involved
Yes.
over there and taking out the extreme.
But that's
traditional.
because of their politics. That's because of how they've the leadership and the government of Iran has decided to treat their people, because their people have pushed back. Iran was one of the most free, liberal, and progressive countries in the world before Khomeini and his people took charge.
479.
And then, by the way, that was our fault. We're the ones that put him in power.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean,
somebody had the grand idea. Let's put a Muslim fundamentalist in charge of a country and see what happens. What could go wrong?
What happened?
Yeah.
All the miniskirts went away.
Yeah.
Women were no longer allowed
Yes.
in society. No
Right.
women doctors,
Yes.
scientists,
right,
nothing.
and no more
Yep.
women in education,
Yeah.
etc. Right.
Well, that wasn't bad.
And it just goes back, like you said, the,
Yeah.
the fundamental conservative side of the religion.
Yeah, but they I get. Listen,
Islam would
because
do a lot better if they just required women to stay in the kitchen.
Right.
we see. Let me give you a good example.
There
Let me
are
give you.
Muslim countries that are more liberal, and we get along great with.
Washington State had the perfect example of what happens when liberals and militant Islam individuals collide. I'll give you a great example of what happened right here down in Olympia. Okay, you had a young girl from Iran that was her father had put her into arranged marriage. She said, "No, I'm not going to do it." He tried to kill her at her high school.
Yeah,
tried to kill her. And you know what? At Washington State, a jury in Washington State did. Fucking acquitted them.
Insane.
It's on tape. You can see it. And then the mother tried beating people up that were trying to stop her husband from killing her daughter. This is not an acceptable thought process.
No, I'm not suggesting it is.
But that's your moderate Muslim, dude.
Right. No, that's your extremist Muslim.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's your extremist Muslim.
When you look at a skeleton as an anthropologist,
Yeah.
it don't tell you whether that person was Christian, Hindu, or Muslim.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
We're all built the same. They have the capacity to know the difference between right and wrong, but their faith teaches them that that's right.
They have the capacity to know right from wrong, but then you have to get into psychology, right? I mean,
I failed that class. That was horrible.
Yeah, right. But
Isn't it obvious?
you can get into what am I thinking of here? When someone gets kidnapped and then becomes the friend of the kidnapper.
Oh yeah, that's
Stockholm
syndrome. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's psychological factors like that in play that you have to.
You want to watch a really fucked up movie that speaks to that? Go watch Begonia. Fuck.
Okay.
That is a creepy, weird movie, dude.
Okay. I like creepy and weird.
You actually might enjoy it.
Okay.
The end
Really
of it,
quick.
you'll be like, what the fuck? Just saying.
Okay.
Really quick.
It's on Peacock.
Okay.
Peacock. We call that peacock. Peacock. Did you guys hear about what happened in New York?
Well, so I was going to actually bring that up. I don't know which part you're talking about, but the mayor of New York, Mamdani, was filmed. Two things happened there. One was with his wife. The other one, he was meeting with the fire chiefs, the police chiefs, and everything else. He made them do a Muslim prayer to begin the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They freaking did a Muslim prayer to begin the meeting. So again, what I was saying about the take. This is part of the design takeover. They're very public about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over online, videos of them openly talking about it. It's not a secret. And this is why I point to them as they're not the most intelligent people in the world. And I mean that with all due sincerity, because if their plan is to take over the United States and make the United States a Muslim country, they're fucking telegraphing it. It'd be like us sitting in the Japanese plotting rooms before December 7th. That's how stupid it is.
Paul, this is a nation that's been telegraphing the woke agenda for 20 years, and people haven't turned on to it, and they just continue to go along with it.
Well, I don't disagree.
You can telegraph.
You keep
it as
throwing
much
your
as you
people
want
under the
to.
bus. I love you for
people. Just keep people buying it. No, that wasn't what I was talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you hear about the protest outside of Mandami's apartment?
No, I did
and
not.
And the two, where were they from? Two Pennsylvania residents showed up. So this was a whole bunch of conservative protesters.
Okay.
Outside of Mandami's residence.
Okay.
These two Pennsylvania dudes showed up and threw two IEDs into the crowd. The IEDs luckily misfired, malfunctioned, did not go off.
Okay.
And they've been arrested. This is the scary. And again, this is a non-story.
I feel like I'm missing something here, though.
What?
So the people outside of his apartment were conservatives
Well,
protesting him?
they were anti-Mandami.
Okay. Okay, anti-Mamdani.
I don't want to say conservatives because
fair.
I don't know, but
Fair.
they were protesting
But then
against Mandami's
who were the
policies.
people that threw IEDs into the group?
They are assuming that they were supporters of Mandami, people who were either socialist or communist or somebody on the or Islam or whatever. They haven't released a lot of information about the two guys that they arrested.
Okay.
But so they show up, they throw these 2 IEDs into the crowd. They don't go off. But they verified that they at least tested positive for the presence of explosives. They've been sent to Quantico for evaluation. I bring this up for 2 reasons. One, some people got really lucky.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that 2 of these things didn't go off when, at the Boston Marathon bombing, they were able to turn a crock pot into a
crock pot, a pressure cooker.
A pressure cooker, sorry, into a bomb. But the other part of this is I think that this is going to become the future of what we see over the next 5 years.
I almost, and I know I'm going down the line and saying this, but do not be surprised if you find that they're fundamental Islamists. Don't be surprised. Now I will tell you point blank that if they are, that would be a reason they didn't release the information.
Here's what they said. This is according to ABC News. When they were interviewed by police, they told police that they had watched ISIS videos and confronted the far-right and anti-immigrant provocateur, they called him, Jake Lang.
Hadn't even read it yet. Called it.
And his Emir Balat and Ibrahim Kuyami of Newton, Pennsylvania are expected to face federal charges for the attempted attack.
It's almost as if you read my mind, Kevin, and you said, I'm going to tell this story. Go ahead.
My fear is that this is the tip of the iceberg for this stuff.
I would agree.
Yeah. And these guys are not part of ISIS. It doesn't sound
No, they
like.
just watched some videos.
They just watched some videos.
Thought they
you
were
can
doing
easily find
God's
online.
holy work.
Yeah. And they educated themselves and they found materials online for IEDs and they did what they did. And then they showed up and they tried to kill a bunch of people. And this is a scary process because this is not just for protests, but I think Christian churches need to be aware. I think legislative buildings need to be aware. I think any electoral candidate needs to be aware. I think this is the future of the next 5 years in this country. I think we go back to the risk of seeing what we saw in the 70s with the Weather Underground.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to start major change in regards to the environment.
That's right.
And all
Obama's
of that.
best bud.
Right. They were trying to make changes regarding the environment. Right. And they were able to do stuff under the radar. There's so much more information now available online as far as how to construct your own IED and how to do this and how to do that. And it's not like these were 2 idiot kids that were able to come up with 2 IEDs and show up at a rally, at a protest and try to kill a bunch of people. This is what scares me the most.
It's fair.
Part of the political division we're living through.
No, this is not political.
No.
If they
You
were
don't think
Muslim
so?
fundamentalists, there was religion.
This is religious.
But it's still so the progressive left was embracing, Palestine and that.
Yeah, gays for free, great gays for Palestine, right? Yeah.
I think you're missing the big picture there, because if these were conservative value people that were objecting, protesting Mamdani
with bombs,
if we have conservatives protesting Mamdami's actions, and then you have supporters trying to bomb the protesters, that's plenty of political division right there.
I think you're. I get what you're saying, but I
it.
think you're trivializing the momentous here, because we're not talking about 2 protesters, 2 counter protesters. That's not what they were. They were Muslim fundamentalists that thought they were doing God's work, God's will.
Did that come out in interviews?
Well, he just read. You want to read it again?
Yeah, that they watched ISIS videos. They've also confronted far-right anti-immigrant provocateur Jake Lang. I don't know.
Which is a political thing.
Jake Lang is he's an Orthodox Christian, and everything he does, he uses Christianity as, and you can disagree with him on that.
But it goes back to the argument of ICE and immigration.
I don't know.
Which he just said
ISIS.
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 Not
ISIS.
But the guy that he confronted was a anti-immigrant.
Yeah, that was Jake Lang, and I forget where he lives, but he does a lot of protesting against Muslims like he burned a Quran in front of a group of Muslims in Minnesota.
Oh,
so
Well,
That's his First Amendment right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
in
think
this country,
they-
but they tried to kill him for it.
Yeah.
well.
I think the other part that we're missing is Mondami's a big target right now because he just rolled out his tax plan.
Yeah, that was
So,
good, huh?
Yeah, all those property
You take a
owners
second to explain that to everybody.
I think
pissed.
he pissed off a lot of progressives with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're living in New York, it's expensive enough already,
Oh,
right?
oh, yeah.
I've never been there, but I mean, you hear frequently about how expensive everything
very-
is there.
Oh God.
And he's basically like, yeah, I know the waitress only makes $250,000 a year, but I'm going to jack up your apartment costs now.
Yeah. By the way, all you Washington folks who may know somebody who's interested in the income tax because they support it, guess what? We get that puppy in here. Our city of Seattle will now have an 18% tax
Insane.
rate, higher than New
Insane.
York City. New
Not
York
including
City-
your federal income tax, folks.
Yeah, and I would prescribe that New York City probably still has a little bit more culture, more things to do, even though it's a
Little bit.
cesspool.
Yeah.
More than Seattle.
By
Seattle
a
has
lot.
devolved.
But
Well,
seriously,
thank you for pointing
it
that out,
makes
Lori.
me want to cry because
Yeah.
I love this state.
Yeah, I do
And
too.
when I came back,
Talking to
I'm
Mike
like,
Beals.
okay, the taxes are higher, but I'll just think of it as like this recreation charge of being able to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
this most beautiful state. And
The trouble is all
It's
the things
not-
you want to do to go and enjoy the state, like a hunting license, a fishing license,
or drive up to the mountains.
yeah, drive up
Yep.
to the mountains,
Yeah.
a pass for the state parks,
Yes.
etc.
I'm going to say this to you as a joke, but I truly hope the wrong Democrats don't hear this idea. But I will not be surprised if they tax us per breath soon.
Already are. It's part of the
Yeah.
fucking carbon tax.
But here's
Shit, you're right. Yeah.
Per mile. Per
But
mile.
let me
Yeah.
take what Lori just shared and make it and even bring it down to a smaller microcosm level, right?
Mhm.
What happens when that 18% tax rate goes into Seattle? How many people are going to do what I do now, which is
You?
live over here
Yeah.
and work over there
And they're
so that they can get away from that 18% tax?
Oh, that's just Seattle. I'm talking the income tax goes in. Every city in Washington is going to go up. Seattle will be the highest one.
Oh, actually, hold on. That'll be an income tax, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably not going to happen as easily.
But it's going to make Seattle 18% if you live in the city of Seattle.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd
What if
be able
you
to burn
work-
50% of your income in taxes.
It's
Basically,
not
right?
sustainable.
No, it's not.
You're right.
The social science says as soon as you hit 40%,
Right.
you know, if you have to spend more than 40% of your resources to feed and house your family, there will be a revolution.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like,
It
like
goes to violence.
as
at
a
that
history buff, what was the percentage of taxes people were paying on the stamp tax? It caused them to create a revolution, throw off the yoke of oppression from the British Empire.
point. Stamp tax.
Yeah, it was like 2%.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
something crazy
It was-
low,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and here we are paying what?
18.
Again,
Yeah.
listen, I appreciate you
That was
guys.
taxation without representation, though.
Yeah, but the
We-
stamp tax is what
but
kicked that
here's
off.
how I
Come on, Professor.
We are not being represented in this state. This is a one-sided majority, and
Agreed.
we just have to lick ass and get by with it
Wow.
because that's what we're dictated
Hell
to
of a
do because
statement.
we have an R next to our name.
Beeler threatening me
You
with a
will
good
own
time.
nothing and you'll be happy.
But
Yeah.
but here's
That's
the
what they want
problem.
us to think.
But here's the problem. I keep saying this. We talk about, well, we hit 40%, there's a blah, blah, blah. The problem is a majority of the American population is fat, dumb, and happy. As
But-
long as they've got access to their Netflix, they can watch Love is Blind and catch the occasional Seahawks game on a Sunday afternoon. They just don't care.
Well,
There's not enough of a grassroots movement in this state
That's why
or
we
this
need to get
country
out
for there to
every
be a
week.
revolution.
yeah.
Every weekend, get out, talk to your
But-
neighbors, talk to
Yeah.
a county away, go talk to those neighbors, whatever you want to call them. And
I live
get
in the
them
freest
motivated.
county in this state, man. That's all I can say.
We
Mason
have to.
County.
You do.
We have to stop passing the buck and
Yes.
just fucking do the things that we talk about because literally we are the last line of defense. If we
We
do
are.
not break through this barrier soon, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah. I mean, I literally have fantasies about taking Wolverine. Remember Wolverine?
Yeah.
You know what that's from,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Putting it on every speed sign on I-5 and just underneath put whatever the agenda is for the week. So Wolverine, vote on this or whatever.
Okay, I'm a little lost. I don't know the
Yeah,
Wolverine.
Red Dawn. Red
Huh?
Dawn.
Oh, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Oh, the Wolverines. I
You
got
mean the
you.
original Red Dawn, though, not the horrible remake, right?
Yeah, not the horror.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
the
the,
remake
one,
was
the
terrible.
original. The original.
Wolverines.
Wolverines.
Comments in chats really quick. Tegan said this state won't be beautiful for long. They cut the funding to fight wildfires. We didn't get any
Yeah.
for snow, and we had a brush fire already today. Tegan, I'm gonna say something. This is gonna shock some people.
You're a Republican.
No. We
Throw it out
need,
there.
But we don't need to be spending a lot of money to fight forest fires. Forest fires are a natural occurrence as part of the natural evolution of an ecosystem, right?
Say that to the people that live in a danger zone.
Again, hold on.
Until someone has their house eaten by one or a neighborhood eaten by one.
Ask the people in Palisades what happens when you
Again, but
don't
here's-
have the money or
but
the
here's
water.
but here's the problem. Our programs that were designed to help the forest fires actually made them worse.
In some places, you're right. It did.
And so really what we need to do is get out of the way, let nature do what nature does, and you identify the areas where it's an issue and you figure out ways to fight those or whatever. But if you have a fire in the middle of nowhere in the North Cascades, leave it the fuck alone.
But that's a totally different thing, brother.
But we spend a lot of money fighting forest fires in the middle of nowhere that don't threaten anything because we feel like we need to fight a fire. You got to leave those alone and focus your resources where they matter.
When's
and
the
right
last
now,
time?
what the legislature wants to do is just throw money everywhere just to throw money.
Kevin, when's the last time you've been in the North Cascades? Has it been this decade?
I think for me it was like 39 years ago.
2019?
Okay, I was up there probably about 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and that's a cinder box. I mean, literally.
No, I agree.
Yeah, but we can't afford to just let something burn in the North Cascades. It's going to affect Canada and go up there. It's going to travel down the Cascades.
But we don't have the ability, the money, the infrastructure,
We used
or the
to.
manpower
We used
to
to.
fight it.
We
and
used to.
but again, what
Until
are they
they
gonna-
started creating all these stupid fucking social
You guys are so
programs.
right that they had to rob the firefighter and police officers' pension fund
Yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
For $4 billion.
$4 billion, which they will spend in a week's time.
Frivolously.
Yeah.
Yes.
And meanwhile,
You
we're
forgot that
doing
part.
sex changes and
Oh, hold on.
laser hair removal.
But again, we're talking
for
two different things,
all
right?
The trans.
The problem is if you come forward now, in this state and you say we need to get money so we can fight forest fires,
Mhm.
what are they going to do? They're not going to cut the programs for the transgender hair removal surgeries. They're going to come out with another tax or another bill or something else, right?
They're going to cut the little newborn kids program whose parents are addicted to drugs when they're born. That's what they're going to do.
And as far as the issue with the snow goes, that's going to resolve itself tomorrow, because starting tomorrow, the Cascades and the Olympics are supposed to get ass raped with snow, and we're actually going to see some
many days,
we're going to see some lower.
It's
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying
make up for the
it'll help a little.
snowpack all winter.
No, it
we had
won't
a
make up for
mild
that.
winter.
But I am hoping for lowland snow on Monday night. That'd make me happy. Okay. Tegan said 20 years ago we were logging and grazing. Now we can't. So now all of it overgrows, is filled with disease, and we don't manage it. We don't need to be managing the forests. The forests do what the forests do all by themselves. Us managing it is what fucked it up in the first place.
Kevin, I don't think you're grasping what people are talking about.
Maybe.
They're not talking about fighting a fire. Like there was a fire up where my gold claim is at, right?
Mhm.
And I go up there and still have gone camping, even though the trees are charred black, right? It's like,
right.
that doesn't bother me. I don't expect them to spend money on that. Let nature take its course, right? You need to clean out the forest floor. That is part of the natural process. But when you've got a housing development in Chehalis, right, and some dumbass throws his half-lit cigarette out the window and it catches fire, that's what Tegan is talking about. She's talking about they don't have the money to pay for the people, the machines, and the equipment to be able to fight fires where they're looking at saving people and property.
Well, and as I said, I
And
think
livestock.
I think you
and
have to design programs. You have to have processes and programs in place to fight those kinds of fires. But we can't be sending people up into the middle of nowhere to fight a forest fire where there's 2 or 3 houses within 5,000 acres that are at risk. That's just not cost effective. And forest fires happen naturally throughout nature.
Doesn't that
lightning
taxpayer
strikes,
deserve to
whatever.
have their property protected, though?
You can't spend.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you
can't
if the
spend.
taxpayer deserve to have their property.
You can't
Nicely
spend
done,
$80
Paul.
million to save
That's
$50,000
not how it
worth of a
works,
home.
brother. That's not how it works.
Well,
The programs are set up so that if a forest fire gets close to property, livestock, stuff like that, that the equipment, the people are there to save it.
that's a very Democrat view of you, Paul.
Look at it this way, Kevin. Alicia and I would like to have taxpayer-funded laser hair removal.
Yes, we would.
But we can't.
We can't.
But if we were an
Trust me, she
inmate,
spends so much on Brazil.
we were mail saying we were trans, we could get that for free.
Look, I have a very
And
large
that's a very,
piece.
very small group of people.
I have a very large piece of tribal timber property that's about to be harvested.
Mhm.
If that got burned down to the ground because of a forest fire, that would suck. That'd be my revenue. But
Yeah.
guess what? It's what happens. Like, it's not. You can't. We have to. We
it's
have
easier
to roll
for you
the-
to say that, bud.
No, that's
because you've
not-
got guaranteed revenue almost in perpetuity from your tribal land.
Right.
I'm
No,
just
no,
I'm
but
not
what
faulting you
I'm
for that.
saying-
It's you're
what I'm
right,
saying,
but
we have to cut the state off of this endless desire to spend our money on everything that they want to spend.
well, nobody disagreeing with you here.
If it is so important for you to take care of it, then you make them come up with it out of the other funds that they've already got and cut something else like laser hair removal. But that's not what Olympia is going to do.
No, yes, you're
have,
right. That is what
so
they're
the
gonna
question
do.
you have to ask yourself is: are you guys okay with another tax to address it? Because
no, we
hold
want
on.
them to lower. Well, then that ain't gonna
but
happen either.
but that's my problem, right? You don't want another tax, but you know the only way they're going to cover it is if they add another tax. So the question is not
with the people that are in office right now.
It keeps compounding.
Right, because nobody's speaking up. We don't sit here and go, no,
But hold on. Or we
have
do
to
speak up and they refuse to listen.
But
or we,
We have to
educate
go
the
en
voter
masse.
base
En
and
masse.
make changes happen because we educate the missing voters.
But guys like
hello, welcome to Outlaw Radio
Yeah.
Network.
But
the
guys
trouble
like
is our listeners are not the missing voters. Our
Correct.
listeners vote.
Correct.
Hold on.
Yeah,
and our
it-
listeners should be reaching out to 10 of their friends who need
Yes.
to
and
need to
guys
come to
like
church here.
guys like Jason Rance and Glenn Morgan, who are conservative voices that have a much bigger footprint, Brandy Cruz, that have a much bigger footprint than we do, are saying the exact same thing, and it's not making
Yes.
a difference
Because it's
So
nothing
the
happens
question-
overnight, brother.
I know, no, I know, I know.
already.
But my point is, the question is always going to be the same, and I'm going to oversimplify it, right? We can't live in a libertarian unicorn world where things make sense and we do the right thing, right? That's what Tom's party believes, but it doesn't happen. So the question is not.
Sorry, Tom. He always brings it back to libertarians.
The question is
Sorry.
not, do we protect the forest and do we do things that blah, 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 right? That's not the question. The question is, do we do that and understand we're going to have to pay more taxes to do it? Because if we don't pay more taxes, it's not going to happen because Olympia won't do it any other way. You can't ask them as an isolated question. The other half of that question has to come into play. And the Democrats, and the Democrats will not allow anything new to be funded unless they tax the crap out of us some more. And so you have to ask the whole question. That's all I'm saying.
But you're taking it from the part that they are the master and we have to just fall in line and don't ask for anything because, it's going to create a new tax.
Mhm.
I'm taking it from the point of view.
Somebody knows money.
Everybody needs to get off their ass, go down to Olympia. I don't care. I'll do it on the same day. Nobody goes to work. Guess what? We shut the state down. Everybody's going to listen.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. To add to that point, if anybody watched the released footage of the 26th legislative district Dems, where Tara Simmons was on there, and that woman literally whined about the fact that one of her constituents approached her in Olympia while she was, quote, on her way to vote.
Yeah.
Just happened to be Rick Coos, who was running for sheriff.
Bitch,
But
that's your job.
exactly right.
It's your job.
Yeah, exactly right. But
I want to get people a t-shirt that just says, bitch, that's your job.
I love it.
So, all right, let's get this wrapped up.
All right.
man. It's getting late. I got to get home before the monsters come.
Hold on really quick. Margie, I just want to give people in the chat their flowers. Margie said $76,000 is low income. No, it's not, but it's not high income. I think it's middle class.
median income in
Actually,
Washington
King
State
County,
is
it's considered poverty level.
yeah,
Are you kidding?
and
No, I
Washington
know.
State median income is around $65,000, right in that neighborhood. Yeah.
John,
I am dirt poor.
Me too. I'm there with you, brother.
In King County, you qualify for housing if you make $105,000 a year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Robert said the Democrats came from the position that the budgeting starts after their grifty nonprofits are fully funded. I don't
Yep.
disagree with that.
Doesn't Tara have a nonprofit that grifts?
Yeah, she sure does.
Well,
Yeah.
she did.
No, she created another one.
Oh, she made a
and
new
then
one.
while at the state legislature, from what I understand, she provided funding for her own nonprofit where she's the only employee.
And the EIN number is the same one from
Yeah.
Vegas.
Right.
She's corrupt as hell.
Yeah.
John Walker said Tara Simmons wants to give the DNR inmates who go to the fires minimum wage. I don't actually have an issue with that.
I don't either.
I mean, I know they're inmates and they all that,
but it's also a
risking their
dangerous
lives.
job.
they're risking their lives and fighting fires in those hills, man. That's some hard ass stuff, man.
Let them get their Snickers bars.
Yeah, let them get their Snickers bars. Who cares? Tegan said, "Come visit Kevin Chambers." I'll come visit North Cascades. I just have to take a wagon fucking train to get there.
I think we should put you on a horse.
Kevin, they
Rawhide. All right.
They have Wi-Fi, Kevin. You're fine.
Kevin said we'll get taxed for taking a dump. Probably. Tegan said goodbye, Nimitz. Goodbye, Nimitz. Thank you for
it's
your
being
service.
decommissioned. Yep.
Yep. Thank you for your service.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
Would've
cutting
made
the
a great
Nimitz
bridge
up.
from Bremerton to
Yeah.
Port Orchard.
The Nimitz just left. It's going to go do one more thing, and then it's going to go to be stripped down and decommissioned.
Wow, I feel so old.
Yeah, Robert said once you read the Quran, you'll understand the mission to destroy America is clear. Yeah, I don't think it's the mission to destroy America. It didn't exist when the Quran was written, but your
That's
point is
not that wasn't his point.
What are you pointing at, Bueller?
Nothing.
Your comment, my back hurts from carrying around this bomb-ass sense of humor? All right. Anyway, fine. Anything else? Let's see.
And Tegan's got a good point.
Margie said all the paraplegic skiers, they are amazing. What?
Yeah.
How the fuck do we get to paraplegic skiers, Margie?
She's been talking about the Paralympics this whole.
You don't have a leg to stand on. All right.
Kevin Chambers. Good Lord.
Go ahead, Lori.
What I was saying is Tegan was
Jesus
talking
Christ,
about
Kevin.
how farmers were having their cattle or livestock graze, and they were paying the state to
Yep.
the ability to graze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the state took that away.
Yep. Yeah, free range cattle.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
We
And then we wonder why our
still-
beef prices has gone
We
up so
still have
much.
Federal land where they rent those out, though.
Well,
But to get to it, you have to go through state land.
And it depends
if
who
you
the
don't have
president is at the
access,
time.
You can't get there.
You can get a Democrat president in there, and they strip away a lot of those abilities, and
Yeah.
they scale it back. Like,
that's why the Bundy Ranch stuff happened.
yeah, and we saw it with the oil rights. It's the exact same thing as the oil rights. Trump comes in and Trump opens up a lot of oil rights, and people jump on it. But the minute AOC or any other Democrat takes over the White House,
He's the Energizer Bunny.
all those oil rights are going to get stripped back down again. That's what's going to
Kevin,
happen.
tomorrow morning's going to suck for everybody.
Seriously, could you please?
I know. I'm wrapping it up now.
All right. Well, you just keep talking, bro.
Lori, parting shots.
Everybody have a great week. It's March. Just enjoy life. I know there's a lot going on politically and in the news. Please, please, please hold the ones that you love close. Make sure if they're far away that they know that
Hold
you
them
love
close.
them.
Hold on.
And
I
Frank,
wasn't talking about Alicia, Kevin.
Oh, crap.
it's okay.
Pretty sure
We're
she
good.
doesn't want you to hold her. She's made that really clear. And have a great week. Enjoy life.
Okay. Kevin Nelson said, I need to take a stagecoach. That'd be fun.
Let me guess, Tom. You wrote something.
I didn't. No, I didn't this week.
Beeler, parting shots.
Why'd you skip to me? Tom's next.
I was going to you, and then we'll go to Tom.
I'm
was
still
just bouncing it
formulating.
around. All right,
Not
Tom,
okay.
parting shot. I'm sorry, Dennis, parting shots. All right.
Cooperate for kids. There you go.
Dennis has got
Cooperate
nothing.
for kids. Per
Dennis has
Dennis.
got nothing. That's what she said. All right, Tom, parting shots.
Actually, I have not prepared my parting shot for this week. So I guess I'm going to get back on my soapbox and ask if you know someone who doesn't vote, please help them. Please help them figure out the voting process. It's really not hard. Please vote.
Especially in this state.
Yeah, please vote.
Or let somebody vote for you.
No,
Okay, folks, that was a joke. I'm going to take you all to Walgreens and buy you a sense of humor.
Paul's new side hustle is, pay me $10 and I'll fill out your ballot for you.
Do not suggest that. That would be very illegal.
Tom, Paul's new side hustle. Paul's ballots.
Yeah, seriously though, I mean, educate yourself and please vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Just be part of the process.
Please choose to be part of the solution or part of the problem.
Right. And if you choose to be part of the process, I'd like to think you're part of the solution.
Yeah. Don't be part of the problem. Be the whole problem. All right. Beals, you ready?
No, I'm just gonna say goodnight.
Well, that was enthralling. I'm glad we waited for that. Paul?
I just want to point out to everybody that no matter what your thoughts are about what's happening in Iran right now, understand that we are a nation at war with another nation that is not only fundamentalist, but wants death to the big Satan. Now, I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but be vigilant. Keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to your surroundings. Have situational awareness, especially because we live in a region that is filled with military bases. Not that they would attack one of those, but there are 1,000 soft targets here.
Oh, yeah. And if you're headed towards Seattle, Tacoma.
I mean, to
Pay
me,
attention.
honestly, probably the most dangerous place to be is on the ferries. And I know they got the little dogs and everything else, but we all know how things go on the ferries, and we all know how easy it would be for somebody to get on there with ill intent.
And my biggest advice to everyone is just be situationally aware.
Yep.
Know your surroundings, know your exits. Like I know my exits every time I walk into the building. It's the first thing I look at.
It's true. You never know when some weird woke kid with blue hair that was a her the day before will lose. What's the word I'm looking for? They will lose contact, or they'll break away from like their mind, right? They'll have a break.
Lose touch with reality.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough. And you want to see the region come to a halt. Have something happen on a ferry.
Yep.
Because they'll shut down the buses, they'll shut down the sounders, they'll shut down the ferry. Like this entire region will come to a halt. Listen, my party shot really quick. I was in church this morning, and we had a situation where some guy was having either a mental break or a drug issue or something, and he came into the church and caused a scene, and it was wackadoodle, right? Yeah. I only bring this up to say this: one, our security staff is phenomenal, handled it great, but two, as we're dealing with everything else we're seeing in the world, there is still a major issue on our streets with mental health issues and homelessness. And just because our elected representatives are not talking about it right now does not mean that it suddenly went away. Yeah. Okay.
Make us insane asylums great again.
So my suggestion is, wasn't going to go there, but my suggestion is that you again stay alert. Right. We're not just looking out for the wackadoodle Iranian terrorist, but there are weird people on the streets that are going to kick the crap out of you because they're dealing with a mental break or a drug addiction. But secondly,
carry a gun.
But secondly, we need to continue to apply pressure to our elected representatives that they have to do something about the drug issues, something about the fentanyl issues. We cannot be distracted by the stuff in Iran and everything else that's going on, where we ignore the problems we're seeing on our streets every day.
Our state issue to help with the drug issue. Our state will use taxpayer dollars to let people inject themselves with fucking fentanyl.
Yeah. We have
public location.
Yeah. And I'm just saying we need to continue to apply pressure. Whatever that fix is, you can decide for yourself what that fix should be, but we need to continue to apply pressure so they don't think we've forgotten about it, because we haven't. All right.
We know that you know that we know.
Do we have a guest next week?
What's next week?
Next week is the 15th.
I'm waiting to hear back from my guest,
You people.
my potential guest.
Okay.
I sent a message a week ago. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll let you know. Follow the Outlaw Facebook page. And thanks. We appreciate you guys. We love you. We'll see you guys again next Sunday night, 7 p.m. Maybe a guest, maybe not. Maybe Tom in his Christmas sweater. Maybe Paul in a skirt.
Tom in his Christmas sweater and a Speedo.
But
I do believe that was in the chat.
That was in the chat.
And Dennis will do the Pee Wee Herman dance. It's the Outlaw Radio Network, outlawradionetwork.com. We'll see you all next week. Happy hunting.
Tell them how you feel. Politics, sports. It's all on the table. Hosted by K-Dog and St. Paul. Black Tom, the CEO, boss baby, DJ D.